check. That's not good.
What happened?
I'm not hearing anything.
Nothing? Oh, yeah, I'm not hearing anything either.
Yeah. Maybe this isn't turned on. Yeah, this thing isn't on.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as this vision shows,
There we go.
our very own Maverick was a decorated.
We're good. The amp wasn't on.
Doing things, looking after his country. He's settled into the quiet life. He loves being a part of the Aces.
Oh, there we go.
Would you please
Yep.
welcome our mascot, Maverick.
The Mav dog, as they call him.
Are we good to just talk and we'll check the levels? All right.
All right. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. All right.
All right. We'll just count all the curse words that we can name. Come on, let me get your kicks.
I gotta.
Well, we're live in 5 minutes, so that's cool. Big black Mic check. Said, are you gonna be my girl? Okay. That's something. We don't want to make you mine.
Makers of Dasher and Fisher began in 2017 with a vision to specialise in gins that speak of place and express Tasmania's remoteness and untouched beauty. Taste the rich, fertile soils and pure Cradle Mountain snowmelt in every drop of the Dasher and Fisher Tasmanian gin. Crew fitness and performance has more than a vision. What drives the crew team and its members is a dedication to community and its eagerness to be surrounded by a personal growth culture. Stop into their location in Braybrook, Beholders Crossing, and see for yourself.
I can hear something, but I'm not sure if it's right.
You gonna be my
Southbank
girl.
Motors features 12 top automakers including Kia and Hyundai, as well as a high-quality selection of pre-owned vehicles and an award-winning service team. Take the stress
You ready, Matt?
and hassle out of selling your old car and buying a new one. Visit South Lorraine today. And SEN is your home for sport for Aces fans. Download the SEN app and listen to SEN's
You ready?
stations.
All right, check 1, 2. Coming to you live from Melbourne Ballpark. The Aces really need to win because they've lost 5 straight. Adelaide are really annoying, but Brisbane just keeps on winning, and that needs to stop tonight. Welcome in. I'm Huge Erection, and we're ready to get started. All good? Okay. Should I test Mike still? Well, Hugh, my name is Holden McGroin, and I'm also ready to go. The Aces just need to win. We're good? All right.
Welcome into the Brick Lane pregame show. I'm Josh Sperber, joined by Aussie Mike, and the Aces had a tough one, another extra inning game for Melbourne here at Melbourne Ballpark.
Yeah, and the Aces had their chances throughout the night. Even before extra innings, there were a few scoring opportunities that the Aces just weren't able to bring guys home. And then in extra innings, both teams had chances. It just turned out that Brisbane took advantage of those chances with runners on base more than Melbourne did.
Brisbane won their 8th straight game against the Aces last night, but still plenty of bright spots for Melbourne, starting with the number 4 hitter in the lineup, Jacob Skoll, fresh off the plane, getting a couple of hits for the Aces.
Yeah, it was really great to see Jake just go right into the 4-hole in the lineup and produce. A couple of hits. He was on base 3 times, scored 2 of the 4 runs on the night. You would have no idea the guy hopped off a cross-world flight a couple days prior, so it was really good to see him slot right in the middle of that lineup. And as soon as guys just continue to get back in the lineup, once Darryl George comes back, Chris Burke comes back, now that Skoll's there, the lineup's just going to continue to get deeper, and 1 through 9, there are going to be some tough outs.
And the bullpen's going to stay deep as well. They did have a couple of really strong outings. Evan Rutsky was great in relief, and Stephen Kent struck out 2/3 of the batters he faced.
Those have been the 2 guys that Peter Moylan's been able to count on, really in any situation, both late-inning guys, but Kent came in the middle innings yesterday, was able to do a job. Now, one of the 3 runners that he inherited did end up scoring on a wild pitch, and that hurt at the time, but you can't say enough about the job he did. Just limiting contact, the 6 strikeouts, the 8 outs that he got, 6 of them via the strikeout. It was really impressive, only gave up 1 hit, so Kent continues to dominate whenever he's called upon. And then Rutsky's been the guy all season, has not allowed a run. He's only allowed a few hits in his 6 outings. And last night, seeing him go 2 innings was really impressive because each of his first 5 outings, only 1 inning. So seeing him go multiple frames and also dealing with runners on in that 1 extra inning, that was really solid to see from Evan.
Staying consistently strong out of that bullpen. Great to have 2 lefties who can be that strong out of your bullpen for the Aces. But it's a right-hander coming on the mound for Melbourne tonight, Cody Mincy, who's been one of the most consistent pitchers on this Aces roster.
Yeah, consistent's the word to use because every time out you can expect 5-6 innings from Cody, 1 or 2 runs. He's not going to blow guys away, but he does have the strikeout pitch working. Usually, 5-pitch pitcher, 4-seam, 2-seam cutter. He uses those 3 pitches to really get ahead of hitters, and then he's got the changeup and slider as well that he can bury guys with. And in his last start in Adelaide, he was really good. 5 innings, just 1 run, only gave up 1 hit in that game, and just really impressed with Cody. And I mentioned the consistency. Efficiency is another word to use with Cody. He doesn't throw a ton of pitches. He gets through innings quickly, and he makes it really easy for his defense behind him.
Looking to keep up that consistency tonight. First pitch is coming your way next here on Aces TV and the Brick Lane pregame show.
Fire me up, Darryl George. A 2-run shot, and the Aces take an early lead. A walk-off grand slam for Matt O'Neill.
It is a beautiful day for baseball here at Melbourne Ballpark. We've got Santa in the house. It's going to be a fun one as the Aces take on the league best Brisbane Bandits, though both teams on opposite ends of a win streak. Melbourne has lost 5 straight. The Bandits have won 8 straight. Josh Sperber here with Aussie Mike, a.k.a. Mike Mark Antonini. And the Aces have a lot on their plate, just a lot ahead of them as they try to reverse that losing streak.
That's priority number 1 tonight, Josh. End that 5-game losing streak. Doesn't matter how you do it. Doesn't matter if it's a 10-0 win or a 3-2 win that you scratch out at the end. Just put 1 in the win column. That's what the Aces are looking to do. Maybe Santa can deliver us an early Christmas present and get us a W tonight.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look under the tree, but you might find a win there. You won't know until after the game. But the Aces certainly had their chances last night, as we were talking about in the Brick Lane pregame show. A couple of close calls, but at the end of the day, it just wasn't to be.
Yeah, and then of course we'll get into that in more detail a little later in the pregame show. But yeah, it's just throughout the game, it's like this is a game the Aces are going to win. This is a game the Aces should win, and they just didn't do it. Brisbane ended up coming out on top. They took advantage of their opportunities more so than the Aces did, and yeah, it ended up being a Brisbane win.
And we can keep going about that. Why not? Let's start with the keys to the game for this one for the Aces to get that first win in their last 5 games.
Yeah, keys to the game, first off, bring them home. Plenty of Aces hits last night, guys on base all night long, but the lineup just wasn't able to bring guys home. That's just saying get them on, get them over, get them in. Well, they didn't get them in last night. The Aces left 13 men on base. They went 2 for 17 with runners in scoring position. That has to improve. Consistent Cody. He's been great this year. 3 starts for Mincy. He's been consistent. He's been efficient. You can pretty much book him for 5 to 6 innings of 1 or 2 runs. Not always going to blow guys away with the strikeout pitch, but limits the walks and limits the hits, which is huge. And then feel the pressure. Look, it's a 40-game season. A 5-game losing streak, that's a huge chunk of the season just right there. So the Aces can't really afford to have this streak go any longer. Just because there's just not enough games to make up the ground if they continue to lose games. So they got to get a W tonight, and those are the keys for tonight's game. And
it's certainly, as we said, a beautiful day for baseball and nice weather outside. So let's take a look at the Vibrant Services weather. That is certainly going into the Aces' favor tonight.
Yeah, loving that number, 20 degrees Celsius. Wind, 21 kilometers per hour. Humidity not too high at 59%, and of course we always love seeing the 0% chance of rain. So like you said, Josh, great night for a ball game. Really nice to see the weather turning here in the Melbourne area, and looks like we're getting gonna have sunshine the rest of this series. So that's your Vibrant Services weather report.
Aces hoping for the sun to shine and get them a victory. So while we could talk about how nice the weather is all day, but let's get into the new era technology. Starting lineups for Melbourne, a very similar lineup to the one that they put out last night. Just one small change, and that's Jared Cruz in that 9-hole.
And the Aces rolling with a short bench this series, so you aren't going to see many changes to the lineup over the next 2 games after this even. But look, 1 through 9, it's a really solid lineup. Not any holes that you look at out there. And 1 through 9, they can beat the opposing pitcher. But I really look at Aaron Whitefield in the 2-hole and Robbie Glendinning in the 3-hole. If they can get those guys going consistently, I mean, this lineup's going to be scary. Whitefield, we've seen flashes of what he can do. The big game-tying 3-run homer in that series against Perth. Seen him put the bat on the ball and hit the ball hard, and when he's on base, swiping those bags 6 for 6 in the stolen base department. But he really hasn't gotten going yet from what we expect from the 2-time Helms Award winner. And then Robbie Glendinning had an excellent series against Adelaide. Not a great night last night, but we'll see if he can keep it up tonight.
Well, as you said, there's a lot of potential in this Aces lineup. Just need to turn on the engines. We're going to take a quick break as the national anthem plays to honor Australia. Well, fireworks alight, another beautiful rendition of the Australian national anthem as the Aces are set to take the field. Cody Mincy on the mound. You talked about his consistency in the keys to the game, and I think he's had his best starts here at home.
Yeah, Cody has felt right at home pitching here at Melbourne Ballpark, a guy who's been here before. He's pitched in big games for the Aces over the years. But just looking at his numbers coming in, he's 1-1 with a 2.40 ERA in 3 appearances, all starts. 15 innings of work. He's gone 5 innings in all 3 starts. He's only allowed 8 hits in those 15 innings. He's also allowed just 4 earned runs, which is really nice to see. And 11 strikeouts, 6 walks. He's kept the walks down. And like I said a couple times, he's not going to blow guys away. He's not going to be that guy who racks up 8, 9, 10 strikeouts a night. But he pitches to contact really well, and he limits the hard contact, and that's something to keep an eye on tonight.
And as Mike mentioned in the pregame show, a 5-pitch pitcher, 4 and a 2-seam fastball, cutter, slider, and a change. but he really likes to focus on the harder stuff.
Yeah, I mean, just having 3 pitches that you can throw 90 plus that all move in different directions is huge. 4-seam, 2-seam, cutter. You got the 2-seam and cutter moving in different directions. You can go in or out on a righty or a lefty, and he's able to do that effectively with all 3 of those pitches. And then that slider, it can be a wipeout pitch. The changeup, I love the changeup down and away to lefties. He really executes it. He executes it well.
Yeah, and I think the slider especially, we've seen a lot from a lot of the other Aces pitchers. Brian Flynn, the starter last night, using that slider very effectively. And that's just another pitch that Mincy can sneak in there, and something he'll have to do against a strong Brisbane team who, as we mentioned, has won 8 straight.
Man, it's a loaded lineup. And up and down this Brisbane lineup, you've got guys who can find ways to get on base, extra base pop in their bats. And you can't just worry about the middle of the order. It's 1 through 9.
And Tyler Tolbert, the first batter of the game. The first pitch misses outside for a ball. He, a Royals prospect, won a championship with the Quad Cities River Bandits in 2021, as that's fouled back into netting to even the count at 1-1. We'll take a look at the Bandits lineup with Tolbert in center field leading off, Robert Moore at second. Batting second, TJ Bennett up to the 3 spot at third base. Home run leader for the ABL thus far. 1-1. That one is hammered out to left field. Robson, though, eases under it and makes the catch in front of the warning track. 1 out for Tolbert as we continue down the Bandits order. Logan Wade at short doing the cleanup work. Andrew Campbell batting 5th as the DH. Dai Kang Yang, who had a clutch game last night, will bat 6th in right field. Donald Lutz at first batting 7th. Logan Trowbridge in left field batting 8th. And Darian Miller doing the catching as the number 9 hitter. 1 away after a hard fly out, as you just saw in the replay, to bring up Robert Moore. Listed as a pitcher, he takes the pitch from Mincy to make it a 1-0 count. Mincy a 2.40 ERA on the season. Deals. Inside, count 2-0.
Well, one thing with Mincy that I talked about him being so efficient and consistent. First out of the game, 3 pitches, quick out. Not a strikeout, but he pitches to contact so well. And he lets his fielders make plays behind him, and they'll make the plays for him. That last start in Adelaide, it was one of those where if you got up to go to the bathroom or grab some food, you were going to miss an entire inning because that's how quick he was working and that's how fast he was mowing down the Adelaide hitters.
And he is working pretty quickly here, back even after losing Robert Moore 2-0. The 2-2 pitch fouled away. We'll do it again. And that's something you don't see a lot of, those battling at-bats on Cody Mincy. He's a guy who's just going to get you out. 2-2. Just missing low and inside, and the count runs full.
He spent a lot of time working as a reliever throughout his professional career. In fact, the last time he played for the Aces back in 2019, he worked exclusively out of the bullpen.
That is hit up the middle, and that's going to drop in between second and center field for a 1-out base hit. A single for Robert Moore to bring up the home run leader in the ABL in TJ Bennett.
Yeah, not hard contact there, just a little blooper into center field. Not much you can do there. Mincy made a good pitch, but contact turned into a hit. And to the point that he worked as a reliever the last time he was here in Melbourne, and your point to that he just knows how to get guys out. I mean, that's the mindset of a reliever. It doesn't matter how you get the outs, just get the outs. And, pitching in short bursts, 1 inning, 2 innings at a time. Here, he's the goal is to go a little deeper, 5-6 innings. So, pitching a little differently, but Mincy's been able to make the transition.
And TJ Bennett, not an easy out, so Mincy's going to attack him with a strike, as we'll set the defense for the Aces. In the infield, left to right, Robbie Glendenning at third, Jared Dale at short, George Khalil at second, J.D. Osborne at first, with Matt O'Neill doing the catching for Mincy. He'll send the 0-1 home to Bennett. Right down Main Street. 0-2 to the ABL home run leader. And we have a stolen base. Robert Moore goes to second, sneaks by everyone for the first swipe of the ballgame.
It looked like a delayed steal right there. He didn't break right away, and at that point, once he caught everybody off guard, no point in throwing down.
So runner in scoring position for Brisbane. 1 out, and the 0-2 to Bennett. Fouled away. And we'll do it again. Left to right in the outfield for Melbourne. Jacob Robson in left, Aaron Whitefield in center. and Jacob Skoll in right. Skoll, the newcomer on the Aces, had a nice game at the plate, hitting 4th in their lineup tonight. 0-2 again to Bennett. The pitch. Hit right at the second baseman. Khalil quickly flips back to the bag for a double play. Heads up play by George Khalil at second base for an inning-ending 4-6 double play. The Bandits get a hit but have it wiped off the board as Mitzi faces the minimum. A scoreless top half of the first inning as the Aces come up to bat next.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
A double play ends off the top half of the first inning. Melbourne looking to ride that momentum into the bottom half. Jared Dale leading things off for the Aces one more time, but he gets the switch from third base to shortstop tonight.
And Peter Moylan's been doing that throughout the season, rotating his second baseman, shortstop, third baseman. All the infielders that he has can move around, so it's nice seeing guys move around, get chances at other positions, see what they can do.
And we've seen Dale, George Khalil, and Robbie Glendenning play shortstop so far for the Aces. An 0-1 to Dale, though, from Cameron Wagner. That misses low, count 1-1.
Never hurts to have 3, 4, 5 guys that can play short. We talked about it a lot last night. You want to be strong up the middle, and the Aces definitely are.
Captain of the infield, they call the shortstop position. Usually the finest fielder on the team will play there. Dale certainly up there. A great glove for one of the Padres prospects as he takes a look at strike 2. Facing Cameron Wagner, though, 21-year-old out of Michigan. Struggling in his first ABL season, though. No record, a 5.06 ERA in 3 starts. Swing and a miss, and there is strike 3. 9th K of the season for Cameron Wagner, and that is his 11th full inning. So first batter strikes out, and that'll bring up a former Brisbane Bandit in Aaron Whitefield.
Yeah, Whitefield getting a chance to play against his former club, his hometown team. He did a lot of damage when he was with Brisbane, for sure. I mean, he's done damage with everybody that he's played for in the ABL and looking to keep that going in Melbourne.
He swings and misses at the first pitch. A high fastball from Cam Wagner. As we'll set the lineup for the Aces. Dale leading off. Whitefield up at the plate, and Robbie Glendenning in the on-deck circle. 0-2 to Aaron Whitefield. Jacob Skoll batting cleanup. J.D. Osborne batting 5th. Jacob Robson 6th. Matt O'Neill, the catcher, batting 7th. George Khalil, who made that inning-ending double play, will bat 8th as Whitefield fights that one off and spoils an inside pitch. And Jared Cruz, the designated hitter, replaces Aiden Willis in the lineup, rounding things out in the 9 hole. going against Cameron Wagner, making his 4th start of his ABL career. The pitch, fouled away again. And these are the kind of at-bats you want to see for a guy who's still looking to get back into the swing of things. Not a solid season so far, but he knows, and we know, that he's just a guy you expect a lot more of.
He missed a lot of time during the 2022 season with an injury, so still just trying to get back into it. You know, it's tough. It doesn't matter what the injury is, just having so much downtime, not playing, working back from the injury, getting healthy. And that's what he's trying to do, and just find his own at the plate.
1-2, caught on and missed, and a second straight punch out for Cameron Wagner, part of the Brewers' relationship with Brisbane. 11th round pick in the draft by Milwaukee this past season. He struck out the first 2 aces to bring up Robbie Glendinning.
Up and down this pitching staff for Brisbane, you got guys who can punch anybody out. I mean, just a lot of good stuff in the arsenals of these Bandits pitchers. The fastballs are good. I mean, a lot of life, good velo, especially the top of the zone, getting guys to swing over them, and then wipe out breaking balls as well.
And Wagner has an 0-1 now to Glendinning. Fouled away down the right side, and it's 0-2. He's working really quickly out of Eastern Michigan. Stayed local for his collegiate career. Played in the Arizona Complex League, short season rookie ball, and then finished the season up with Low A Carolina, where he was spectacular. 0-2. Outside, count 1-2. With the Mudcats, Wagner was 2-0. .77 ERA, so he allowed just 1 earned run in 11 2/3 innings in 3 games with 1 start with the Mudcats. 0-1-2, swung on and missed, and Wagner strikes out the side. Not a bad start to his first appearance against the defending champ. So 2-1, 2-3 innings, 3 strikeouts for the Bandits, and they'll come back to bat in a scoreless ball game. Top of the second next here on Aces TV.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150
to face 4, 5, and 6 for the Bandits as he takes the first pitch outside to Logan Wade. Wade hit 5th last night. Struck out twice, singled once, and grounded to short twice. As that one catches the outside part of the zone, 1-1 the count. It's not often you see a shortstop hitting in the middle of the order, but Wade brings the power from the left side of the plate as the fastball misses upstairs, 2-1. Mincy in his second year in the ABL. This is 10th game in the Australian Baseball League, all with the Aces, as Logan Wade lines that into center field for the base hit.
A leadoff base runner, first leadoff base runner we've seen in this game. So right now, Mincy looking to bear down and just limit it to just that one hit in the inning. The Aces had some help defensively with that line-out double play to end the first. You know, Wagner looks really sharp on the flip side for Brisbane. 3 strikeouts, and he made quick work of the top 3 hitters in the lineup. So you got to think that it's going to be a pitcher's duel, and the way Wagner started this one off.
Called strike to Andrew Campbell, the designated hitter. Runner on base. Wade's got decent speed at first, but Matt O'Neill behind the plate, not the guy you want to run on. Really good defensive catcher for the Mets prospect. 0-1. Outside, maybe a de facto pitch out, and it's 1-1.
And Matt's done a great job controlling the running game, and a lot of times it's not even always about throwing guys out or, you know, picking guys off, any of that. It's just the presence behind the plate.
As that is hit into the air out to right center field, Whitefield eases under it and makes the catch for the first out.
There's a lot of catchers that have the reputation, you just don't run on them. And so they control the running game by just being behind the plate, and I think O'Neill is developing that reputation quickly around the ABL. I mean, he's done a great job hunting opposing base runners, making good throws down to second, puts it right where either the Aces shortstop or second baseman, depending on who's covering, needs it to be. And that's huge for an opposing pitcher, especially when there's runners on base early in a game.
And the first pitch is in there for a strike to Dai Kang Yang, guy who's referred to his teammates as just Yo in the dugout for the Bandits. He had a couple of clutch hits. Scored the tying run in the 6th, drove in the first run of the game in the 4th, and he faces a 1-1 count from Mincy. So one's all on the board. Number 1 at bat, 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. Short lead off first for Wade. The pitch. That is rocketed out to deep center field. Whitefield goes back, and he makes that look easy. 2 away.
He had number 1 on the mound as well.
Oh, yes.
Mincy getting it done. I mean, that ball was scorched off the bat, but didn't carry too far, in Whitefield doing his thing out there in center.
Now he just glides out to the ball. Just such effortless range out in center field. Though he is in the Angels system playing behind a pretty good center fielder. He might have to learn to play the outfield corners, but why not use him in center while he's here?
It was pretty fun talking to Aaron yesterday before the game, and he was telling us about, you know, just stories of playing in the Angels system up in the big leagues, playing with Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani. And I remember he was telling us at the one game, one of his first games, he came in as a defensive replacement, and Trout was in center, and he was either in left or right. I forget which corner he was in, but he's like, all right, just there's a ball in the gap. Just don't hurt Trout.
And that in the infield gap, Khalil flips it to second for the easy out, and that ends the inning. George Khalil has ended the first 2 innings of this ball game with some smooth defense at second base. But the Bandits get a hit, leave a runner stranded as they end it on a fielder's choice hit by Donald Lutz. The Aces come to bat in a scoreless ball game. Bottom of the second coming up next. Keep it locked on Aces TV.
All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150 varieties of vibrant plants, most of them grown locally right here in Werribee South. We have qualified horticulturalists on site to help assist with all your gardening needs, and our home decor section is stocked with a full range of quality options. All Green Nursery, your local plant nursery and garden centre. Visit our sites in Hoppers Crossing and Epping. All-Star Access Hire are your access equipment specialists. We have an extensive range of state-of-the-art equipment and we pride ourselves on delivering outstanding customer service. We have the youngest fleet of equipment in Victoria, and we are consistently adding new machines. We get to know our customers and form partnerships with them. This video is of our partnership with the Victorian Government at Reservoir Station. All-Star Access Hire are proud sponsors of the Melbourne Aces and our All-Star Bar.
We got a packed house in Melbourne Ballpark. Looks like we got some J.D. Osborne fans. A good guy to root for.
I love the headband there with the JD on it. Yeah, JD always rocking the headband. Headband's a great look.
Oh, yeah.
You know, one of my various nicknames is Headband Mike back in the States. So when I rock the headband, I'm Headband Mike. It's like I go into the alter ego.
It's weird. I haven't seen you with a headband here yet.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm kind of surprised.
Been wearing it at the gym, and that's pretty much it. I'll probably break it out on the beach at some point soon. Keep that sun off my face.
Good old beach band, Mike.
Yeah. I mean, hey, look, I'm always open to new nicknames. It's kind of my thing.
A man of many nicknames. Jacob Skoll at the plate, no known nickname, but a 2-0 count on him here in the bottom of the second. Misses outside, now it's 3-0, and after his debut last night, might be a guy you want to be wary of pitching to.
Picked up immediately. Gave the Aces exactly what they needed in the middle of the order out of the 4-hole.
3-0 pitch, just missing outside. Skoll was heading to first, but it's a 3-1 count.
Yeah, that looked like ball 4.
Might not be the best time to introduce the umpires, but it's even Ian Gavin at home plate, Neil Medlin at first, Tom West at second. Same crew from last night moving around. Skoll, 2 runs, a double, and a single. And there his second walk as a member of the Aces. 2 for 5 last night. No at bat yet, but a leadoff base runner, the first base runner of the day for Melbourne to bring up Mr. Headband himself, J.D. Osborne.
Hey, let's see what J.D. can do. Last night drove in 3, that big 2-run home run early. He tied the game in extras. It was the 10th inning he tied it. So he continues to swing a good bat, and he's been consistent with his approach, hitting the ball hard and spraying it all over the field.
Been the power guy for the Aces as Skoll takes off to second. The throw gets into the outfield, and Skoll's going to take off for third. He's going to come in with a stolen base. The throw to third is late, and Jacob Skoll runs his way into scoring position. Nobody out and a runner on third here in the bottom of the second.
Fan favorite already. I mean, 2 hits last night, scored 2 of the 4 runs. Walks, steals a bag, advances on the air, just making the defense make a play. And right there, it forced Brisbane into an error. And Skoll and the Aces taking advantage of it.
And that's the first error of the ball game. As we'll let you know who that error is on. Should be on the catcher.
Stolen base in an E2.
1-0 pitch popped up into shallow center field. Logan Moore eases under it. It's Wade, actually, who makes the catch. Skoll trying to bait the catcher, but he'll stay at third base.
Now, on that play, the runner on third with no outs isn't ever going to attempt to score on that, but you want to at least get off third base a little bit and make the fielder make the throw home, because you never know. Like there, the ball hit the mound, and that could have bounced in any different direction, and it could have led to an Aces run. So good job by Skoll to at least get off third and force a throw home.
And he already disrupted the fielding, the throwing once. Why not try to do it again? So now 1 out and 1 on for Jacob Robson, who fouls the first pitch he sees off into the netting.
Well, I know he's coming up with a big hit here. I'm feeling it. At the very least, Robson's getting this run home. He had a tough night last night, 0 for 5. Struck out in each of his first 4 plate appearances. Had a chance to win the game in extras and bounced into a fielder's choice, so didn't get it done. But I'm thinking he gets the job done right here.
1-0, spoiled again into the netting over the Bandits dugout, 0-2, and you could say he's due for sure.
Yeah, for sure, and he's late on those first 2 swings there, but that's how you get it timed up. First 2 swings late, you realize you got to make an adjustment. You see him, he's not much of a stride there. He doesn't have enough time with as hard as Wagner's throwing. See how he adjusts right here.
0-2 inside, and now it's 1-2.
Well, there he got the slider in, and that's a good take because he knows the strike zone so well. He's not swinging. He's not a guy who's going to consistently chase out of the zone. So, and because of that, it forces opposing pitchers often to come with the hard stuff in the zone.
That's what he wants. He's already seen 2 balls leave the yard as that ball almost left the catcher's mitt. 2-2.
See, he was in the zone with his first 2 pitches, both fastballs, and then he misses with the off-speed stuff. So I'm thinking he goes back to the fastball here, probably on the outer half. And Robson knows he can cover that well.
Yeah, he's trying to make the pitchers make a mistake. It's the hitter's way of challenging the guy on the mound. And Robson certainly wants to get in a head game with a guy 6 years his junior. He holds up on the swing, and the count runs full after starting off 0-2. So a really good at bat by Jacob Robson.
Yeah, those last 3 pitches, you know Wagner's going for the punch-out because he wants Robson to chase. Runner on third, less than 2 outs. He doesn't want Robson to make contact. He wants him to get himself out.
Runner on third base, 1 out, the payoff pitch. Outside again, and Jacob Robson's going to head to first base with a walk. 2 walks in the game, both coming in this inning. And the Aces have him cornered with 1 out here in the bottom second.
4 really good takes right there, and especially down in the count 0-2. It's not easy to go up there and just sit on 4 straight pitches, especially with the runner on third. You're trying to drive in the first run of the game, but Robson stayed patient, stayed within himself. And now 2 on for a guy who's consistently driven runners home over the last couple weeks.
And Matt O'Neill has been clutch. This one sprayed out to right field, definitely deep enough to score the run, and that drops. Robson thought he was coming back to first base. He'll go into second. Could have been more, but it gets the job done. Matt O'Neill with a deep fly ball into right, and once again, he comes up big for Melbourne. They've got 1 run.
Yeah, that was the first key to the game. You know, bring them home. And last night, plenty of runners on base, multiple runners on base in a lot of innings last night, all the way through, and the Aces were only able to push 4 across. Take a look at this All-Star Access higher replay. Good piece of hitting going the other way, and I don't know whether Yang lost that in the sun or if he just mistimed it putting the glove up, but that's a tough one, and the Aces taking advantage of 2 errors in the inning.
That should be an E9. But either way, the run comes home for Melbourne, and they've still got 2 on and 1 out. First pitch to George Khalil, catches the outside corner. It's a called strike.
Another RBI for Matt O'Neill, continues to get the job done. Now last night, O'Neill brought home that tying run in the 8th inning that eventually forced extras. This time getting the Aces on the board.
And no appeal needed. Home plate umpire Ian Gavin says Khalil went, so it's 0-2. Still no official word whether that's an error, but you got to think that it's Daikang Yang with an E9. 0-2.
And they just put it up there. 2 errors in the inning for Brisbane.
So it officially will go down an E9, and now a 1-2 count for George Khalil. He had his first home run of the season against Adelaide last week, and with his defense, if he can really get going on offense, he could be a dangerous weapon. The 1-2. Breaking ball inside, and it's 2-2. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball right down the middle. And Khalil chases, but got over the top of it. 4th strikeout of the day for Cameron Wagner, and there's 2 outs with runners on second and first for Jared Cruz.
It looks like he timed that swing up pretty well, but just a really good breaking ball. Get a chance at another look at it right here, and Khalil, 2 runners on, just 1 out in the inning, and yeah, that's just a nasty breaking ball.
Challenged him with a change down the middle, and it worked. Those just look like a heater, and when you see a fastball coming right down the pipe, you're going to want to swing at it. Cruz lets that one go, but it's a called strike. Came on as a pinch hitter, went 0 for 2 last night, but getting his first start in a couple weeks. The 0-1. That just misses, and it's 1-1. Cruz, a utility man, has played all but pitcher and catcher over his 9 years with the Aces. Had a couple of big hits in the first series against Geelong. 1-1. That's a swing and a miss. Not a full swing for Cruz, but certainly enough to warrant a strike 2. And now Wagner is a strike away from getting out of this inning. Robson on second, O'Neill on first. The 1-2. Upstairs, count 2-2. And Wagner, one of the Milwaukee Brewers prospects. They're a pretty recently signed deal with the Bandits to send some of their prospects here. Hit off the end of the bat towards first base. Donald Lutz will take it himself. Step on the first base bag to end the inning. But damage is done. No hits, but 2 walks and a run, an error, actually 2 errors in this bottom of the second inning. 2 runners stranded. The Aces go into the third inning with a 1-run lead, and Aussie Mike will take the mic next here on Aces TV.
Aussie gardeners are best served by Aussie tools, built specifically for our unique environment and conditions. Back in the 1890s, Leonard Chambers and William Thompson started a beekeeping supply business in Melbourne. Little would they know that their company would go on to change how Australians garden for well over a century. Cyclone is ingrained into our country's history and our way of life. Our tools are long-lasting and purpose-built for hard work.
We've been making quality tools for over a century.
They last that long, you can hand them down to the next generation. Good, quality, honest product that the Australian people have grown to love.
It's not an Aussie shed without a Cyclone.
My biggest takeaway of being here for 34 years is just sense of pride in the product.
Australians buy good products. So if they keep on buying, we keep on making, so we're here.
Cyclone tools, made for Australians.
The good vibes are rolling here at Melbourne Ballpark in Game 2 of a 4-game series between the Melbourne Aces and the Brisbane Bandits. The sun is out and shining. The Aces have an early lead. It's 1-0 as Cody Mincy goes back to work in the third. Fastball misses high and into the 8-hole hitter Logan Trowbridge. It's quickly 1-0. So it's Trowbridge, Darian Miller, and then back to the top of the order for Tyler Tolbert as Mincy looks to throw up a third straight scoreless inning. Next one for Mincy, slider over. It's 1-1. Mincy looked really good through his first 2 frames, needed just 26 pitches to get through the 2 innings, 18 of them strikes. So continues to work quickly and really efficient with his pitches. Softly hit out to short, easy play for Jared Dale. 1 up, 1 down on 3 pitches here in the third.
Nice throw from Jared Dale to Jody Osborne.
The Aces got on the board in the bottom of the second. Jake Skoll led off the inning, walked on 5 pitches, and then made it happen with his legs. Stole second. Miller's throw went into center field. Skoll went to third on the play. And then 3 batters later, Matt O'Neill sent a deep fly ball to right. It would have scored Skoll if it had been caught anyway, but Yang, got to believe he lost it in the sun. It got by him, and Skoll scored on that one, so an RBI for Matt O'Neill. One of 2 errors in the inning for the Bandits, and the Aces took advantage of the run. So 1-0 Melbourne top 3 as Mincy has another early lead to work with.
And I think the big part of that, regardless of the errors that made it happen, is that the Aces still brought home a runner on third. And that's something that they had a lot of difficulty doing last night. So errors or not, that's a good sign early on.
Yeah, sometimes it's ugly, but got the job done.
A win ugly is still a win.
The Aces have given Mincy 14 runs of support in his 3 starts this season. That's a little over 4.6 runs per game. Here's a hot shot past Osborne into the right field corner. Skoll chases after it, and the 9-hole hitter Darian Miller pulls into second with a 1-out double.
That's just a ball hitting to a really tough place to get. Hard hit right down the line. That's going to be an extra base almost every time. And Osborne, a capable fielder at first place. That's a tough one for him to get for the Brewers prospect.
So one time through the order, Mincy's allowed 3 hits, 2 singles, and a double. No walks. Taking advantage of a line-out double play to end the first inning. A couple flyouts and a fielder's choice grounder to end the second. And now here's the leadoff man, Tolbert, with 1 out and 1 on. Way up and in, as Tolbert had to duck out of the way.
Some chin music to try and push the Royals prospect off the plate.
We'll see if Mincy was just trying to set him up there, go up and in, and see if he goes down and away here. Next pitch from Cody, he did go down and away. That one missed as well. It's 2-0. Great turnout here at Melbourne Ballpark tonight. Great crowd. And great night to watch a ball game. And the weather is taking a turn for, we hope, the best here in the state of Victoria. Slow chopper to the left side. Nice job by Glendening to look the runner back to second and then throw over to first. 2 outs in the third.
Now that's, again, we talked about how good it is to have a shortstop on every part of the infield except for first base. Glendening makes a smart play. Walking towards third base, he sees the runner creeping towards the third base bag, and because he got it, picked it up so quickly, he was able to keep Miller on second base. A faster runner might have advanced, but Robbie Glendening with a really good fielding play to get the out.
Mincy worked 5 innings of 1-run ball in his last start, and he's through 3 shutout innings tonight. Humpback liner out to short, Jared Dale all over it, and the inning is over. No runs on a hit, no errors, 1 man left in scoring position. We head to the bottom of the third. It's the Aces 1 and the Bandits nothing. Keep it right here on Aces TV.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Of the third inning from Melbourne Ballpark, Aussie Mike and Josh Sperber with you on the call. Game 2 of 4 this weekend between the Bandits and the Aces. The Bandits have won 8 straight, rolling through the ABL competition this season, 11-2 through their first 13 games. Meanwhile, the Aces looking to snap a 5-game losing streak, swept in Adelaide last weekend during the round 3 series with the Giants. And Brisbane took the series opener last night in 11 innings, 7-4 win for Brisbane. Aces looking to get back on track. Top of the order, Dale Whitefield and Glendening. First pitch to Jared, swing and a miss. Slider down and away from Cam Wagner. Want to remind folks that the Aces have a new beer partner this year, Brick Lane Brewing. Sales were brisk last weekend, and with the nice weather this weekend, Josh, I'm sure the sales are going to be great this weekend as well. Nice play down the third base line. Bennett a sliding stop, but not enough time to get it over there. Jared Dale beats it out for an infield single.
Yeah, the ball might have bounced down to the glove of Donald Lutz at first base, but you'll see the speed of Dale here on this replay. Hard play to field. Bennett did a good enough job just to keep it in the infield. A sliding stop at third base, and there was no shot that Jared Dale wasn't going to beat this out. You see right there, he lands on the first base bag before the ball bounced out of out of Donald Lutz's glove. That's a nice hit for Dale.
Yeah, Dale's been struggling with the bat a little bit, so he smelled the hit out of the box, and he knew it once he got there. And Bandits are attending to T.J. Bennett down at the third base line. He was on the ground for a little while after making the diving attempt and throwing over to first, but it looks like he's all right.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was on the turf when he made that stop, and sliding on turf just can't feel good. Maybe just got on a bad part, but Trainer is back in the dugout. Bennett still at third base, and away we go.
There's Aaron Whitefield. First pitch misses, and that's a great point, Josh. Now, the infield here at Melbourne Ballpark, it's all turf except for home plate and the bases and the pitcher's mound. So you're exactly right. Where Bennett was playing at third, he did slide on the turf there. And yeah, that can't feel good. Get that turf burned.
I've never played baseball on a turf field. I have been a lacrosse goalie on a turf field.
How's that?
I've had many cut up knees and just up and down my legs making low saves in the turf. But, I mean, sliding is just more time on that turf, and that's just through baseball pants and high socks or not. That just can't feel good.
You have some bad memories from those lacrosse goalie days on the turf. Whitefield drives one out to deep left field. Going back on it is Trowbridge. He makes the grab. Off the bat, that looked like it was ticketed for extra bases. Didn't know if it had the height to get out, but I was thinking at least off the wall or off the warning track, but Trowbridge makes the grab.
It certainly looked like it. I mean, Whitefield, that could be part of the reason why he hasn't got out to the start we've expected from him. I mean, look at that. Off the bat, that looks like it is destined for extra bases, right, as you said, but I think this is not one of the windy days in Melbourne Ballpark that carries balls out, and that ball just kind of died in the air.
Here's Glendinning. He swings at the first pitch. This could be two. Flip to second for one, over to first, and it is an inning-ending double play. So Wagner faces the minimum, works around a leadoff single. No runs on one hit, no errors, no one left on through three full. Aces 1, Bandits nothing. Keep it right here on Aces TV.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Nice night to grab a cold one at the ballpark. Brick Lane Brewing is the new beer partner of the Melbourne Aces. Grab one and enjoy a ball game. And if you got one in your hand, you're enjoying a nice cold drink and an Aces lead. It's 1-0 Melbourne over Brisbane. Top of the 4th inning as Cody Mincy looks to throw up another 0. No strikeouts from Mincy through 3 innings, but he's pitched really well to contact, and he has limited the base hits. Just 3 of them for Brisbane, 2 singles and a double. 3-4-5, TJ Bennett leads off for Brisbane. And Mincy starts him off with a strike on the outer half.
Also, if you're at the ballpark and have a brick lane or 2 in your hand, feel free to brighten someone's day, namely Mike and me, and bring one up to the booth.
You know where to find us. Hot shot to second. George Khalil stays down on it. Easy play for him. And another quick out for Mincy. Josh, I think that's one of the best things about when Mincy's on the mound for the Aces is, especially during a losing streak, is you know this guy's going to get quick outs and limit the hard contact on the other side. And I got to imagine that eases things for, the Aces at the plate, knowing that they've got a guy who can do this on the mound.
Yeah, I mean, the guys are just ready. I mean, that was a hard grounder right at George Khalil. And, sometimes a tough bounce like that, particularly with the higher hops it takes on a turf field, that could eat infielder up. But the Aces just know to be ready when Mincy's pitching.
Yeah, the sun can't be easy to deal with on that side of the diamond either.
Blinding me here in the booth.
I always got my shades on. My sunnies, as they call them over here down under.
The future's just too bright for you.
I like to think so. But really, the sun is a little too bright.
Yeah.
Sometimes it comes in like that at that really tough angle. You got to have the shades on.
Oh, yeah. I always find that, I don't think I could see with sunglasses on. Just not that well, anyway.
Yeah, I'm used to them. If the sun's out, I got the shades on. It's been like that for really my whole life, so they're just basically glued to my face at this point.
Sun's out, shades out. That's what everyone says. Because it rhymes.
1 out, no one on in the 4th. Mincy continuing to carve up this Bandits order. Bandits come into this game 11-2. They have rolled through the ABL competition this year. And it hasn't been just the offense or just the pitching. I mean, the Bandits getting it done all over the place. Brisbane comes into this game averaging 6.9 runs per game, 280 team average, 821 OPS. The Bandits have 40 extra base hits on the year in just 13 games.
Yeah, you look at pretty much any offensive category, the Bandits are up top of there. The offense has been spectacular, but as we saw last night particularly, it's not just the offense. The pitching has been really good. The bullpen has been shut down.
Next pitch to Wade. Fly ball left field. Robson on his horse, ranging towards the wall. He looks up, and that one's gone. Ball just kept carrying. It's a solo homer for Logan Wade. And the Bandits tie it up at 1.
Well, I think we found where the wind's blowing. That Whitefield ball, that looked ticketed for extra bases, kind of died in the air. And Wade's, that looked like it was going to be a pretty routine double out to left, but it just kept on carrying and eventually ended up over the fence. We'll take a look right here.
Pitch from Mincy on the outer half and just went with the pitch.
Yeah, he kind of hung that one.
Yeah, I think Robson was a little surprised out there and left that the ball just kept going.
Hey, you saw he kept on looking back at the wall just to make sure he knew exactly where he was and how close he was to hitting that wall, and I'm not sure he thought that ball was headed out of here.
Yeah, it's not deep. Well, this one's driven deep, but not as deep as the last one. But yeah, like I was saying, as Robson puts that one away for out number 2, 300 to left, 300 to right, 370 to center. This isn't one of those parks where you have to absolutely tattoo it to get it out.
No, these guys are used to about 20, 30 feet more just about everywhere in this ballpark. He hit that homer, and that was a wall scraper out to left where it's just 300 feet out. That might have been 310 feet, 315. With the exception of maybe Yankee Stadium, that's not going to go out in a lot of parks in America.
Here's Dai Kang Yang, the right fielder. Flew out to center his first time up. How was that ballpark you called games in down in Bowling Green?
It's good.
Deep park?
Not too bad. That definitely wouldn't have been a homer in Bowling Green, but that's more because the walls are higher.
Hot shot to the right side. Khalil lays out but can't come up with it. It's a 2-out single for Yang. It's second hit of the inning for Brisbane. I'll tell you that the stadium in Aberdeen, Ripken Stadium, where I was calling games for the Ironbirds, you gotta really crush it to get it out there. the power alleys are over 400.
What?
You gotta really drill it.
What's up, Comerica Park? You got a challenge.
It's a poke to left and right
Yeah.
center. We see a ton of triples. I mean, balls in play. I mean, the doubles, triples. Love seeing that there,
Yeah.
but yeah, that ballpark you don't see a ton of long balls. Well, here's Donald Lutz, the first baseman. Entered last night's game as a pinch hitter. He gets the start tonight.
Yeah, and I think if I dig deep enough on my phone, I could probably find the dimensions of Bowling Green Ballpark, but I know it's more than this, definitely less than Aberdeen.
Lutz played parts of 2 seasons in the big leagues with the Cincinnati Reds in 2013 and 2014. 62 games total for the Reds. Hit .211, 1 home run, 9 driven in. 23 hits total in his big league career. And he hits here with 2 outs. Big cut there and a changeup from Mincy. Good pitch. It's 2-1.
Yeah, he was putting everything he had behind that, trying to send that ball to the train station.
Lutz is well traveled. Born in New York, Watertown, New York native. He's of German descent. Spent a lot of time over in Australia. He's consistently played in the ABL for almost a decade and a half now. You know, that his time in the ABL dates back to before the current version of the league. But he's been a mainstay in Brisbane for a while. Mintz looking to get out of it with just a 1 run. Fastball in the outer half. That's good for strike 2. See if Mincy can pick up his first strikeout of the night here.
And that's something that Mincy has done exceptionally well tonight. The couple of times he's been behind in the count, he's either induced an out or worked himself back in it. This is not the first time we've seen him fall behind 2-0 at the start of a hitter and then end up in a 2-strike count.
Mincy did not walk a batter in his last start. He walked 3 in each of his first 2. So just 6 through 3 starts. Take those splits, averaging just 2 walks a game. Well, J.D. Osborne tried to fool the runner at first over there, Yang. And he gives the baseball back to Mincy to try to finish off Lutz. 2-2 in the dirt. It gets away from O'Neill. And on the wild pitch, Yang moves up to second.
Not just one that bounced in the wrong spot. Took a weird hop behind the plate and now moves the go-ahead run into scoring position. You'll see right here, just on the corner, I think it looked like the back corner of the plate, the inside part of the plate to the lefty Lutz. Just not an easy hop for Matt O'Neill to handle.
Big pitch coming from Cody Mincy in a tie game here in the 4th. Aces scored first for the 2nd straight night, but the Bandits came right back to tie it. 2-2, flip foul, and Lutz stays alive. Well, we touched on it in the pregame, Josh, that the Aces not only need to bring guys home early, but they got to extend the lead when they have the chance, and they're going to have some more work to do now that the Bandits have tied it up.
Yeah, they just got to get more runners in scoring position. Promising that they get a batter home via error or not, they still got the job done with a runner in scoring position.
2-2 drilled out to deep right field. That ball's not coming back. A 2-run home run for Donald Lutz, and the Bandits go up 3-1. Oh, no doubter off the bat, and really it was just a matter of if it was going to stay fair or not. And there was no indication that it was hooking foul, and the first base umpire, Neil Medlin, made the call that it was a fair ball. And just like that, the Bandits up 3-1.
Yeah, that was a rocket. Lutz just found his pitch. Fastball right down the middle of the plate. And you could tell as soon as he hit it that ball was gone.
Well, Lutz has been around a while. He's got a lot of pop in that bat. He's not missing that pitch. Well, Mincy's been bitten by the long ball a little bit this season. He gave up 3 home runs in 5 innings against Perth. He got the win that night. And he only gave up 4 hits that game, but 3 of them were home runs, but all solo shots. So he was able to limit the damage. Now, tonight, a solo shot and a 2-run shot. The Ace is going to have to put some more runs on the board. So here's Trowbridge with 2 down as the inning continues.
And I mean, you especially that game against Perth tonight as well. I mean, you look at the outings Mincy has pitched. It's not like he's leaving pitches over the plate all the time. He's throwing well, just a couple of the hits left the yard.
First strikeout of Mincy's night ends the 4th, but he's not happy with himself after allowing 3 hits, including 2 home runs, as the Bandits score 3 times in the 4th. We head to the bottom of the 4th after this as the Aces play from behind for the first time tonight. 3-1 Brisbane. Keep it locked right here on Aces TV.
For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150 varieties of vibrant plants, most of them grown locally right here in Werribee South. We have qualified horticulturalists on site to help assist with all your gardening needs, and our home decor section is stocked with a full range of quality options. All Green Nursery, your local plant nursery and garden centre. Visit our sites in Hoppers Crossing and Epping. All-Star Access Hire are your access equipment specialists. We have an extensive range of state-of-the-art equipment, and we pride ourselves on delivering outstanding customer service. We have the youngest fleet of equipment in Victoria, and we are consistently adding new machines. We get to know our customers and form partnerships with them. This video is of our partnership with the Victorian Government at Reservoir Station. All-Star Access Hire are proud sponsors of the Melbourne Aces and our All-Star Bar.
A lot of people at the ballpark tonight enjoying some Melbourne Aces baseball, but right now the Aces trail the Bandits 3-1. The Bandits put up 3 runs in the top of the 4th on 2 home runs, a solo shot from Logan Wade and a 2-run shot for Donald Lutz. And here we are in the bottom of the 4th as the Aces look to get back on track. But how about that crowd out there, Josh? Everybody loving the food trucks and having some fun at the ball yard.
Yeah, I think the only reason that we don't have an entirely full stadium is because most of them are out by the All-Star Bar and by those delicious food trucks, which, I mean, I don't blame them. But I'm still calling this a full house.
We got a lot of great groups on hand tonight, some of our proud Aces sponsors and fans throughout the ballpark taking in a game from all different vantage points as Jake Skoll gets set to lead off the 4th. It's Skoll, Osborne, and Robson, 4, 5, 6 for the Aces. Middle of the order looking to get something going as the Aces trail for the first time tonight. Aces got their lone run in the 2nd. Brisbane answered with 3 in the 4th. Swing and a miss there from Skoll, who walked on 5 pitches his first time up.
And this, I mean, obviously Skoll hasn't been here too long, but this has really been the fire starters. You know, Osborne has been at the center of just about every Aces rally this season. Skoll had a really nice night and has some serious pop in his bat. So these are the guys, the middle, the heart of the order that you want to get the lineup going.
Skoll scored the only run of the game for the Aces. He came home on the ball O'Neill hit to right. Cam Wagner back to work, and Skoll sends one in the air to center, sinking quickly, but it hangs up long enough for Tolbert to make the grab. 1 up, 1 down in the 4th.
I looked for a second like it was going to drop right in between Logan Wade and the center fielder and Tyler Tolbert, but hung up just long enough for the out. And Skoll, that's a pitch that he'll want to see again because that was right over the plate. He just got a little bit underneath it.
Cameron Wagner, as Josh mentioned earlier, spent his first pro season in the Brewers organization in the Arizona Complex League and then worked his way up to low A. Started out slow for Wagner, just working an inning or 2 at a time, and then by the end of the season, into early September, in his final 2 outings, he worked 4+ in his last 2 starts. Swing and a miss there. Well, his last 2 outings, one was a start, one was in relief. So like many pitchers who come over to the ABL are really playing any winter league, looking to build himself up and go deeper into games.
And these are really the ideal guys you want to see in the winter league if you're a major league club. Guys that just are getting their career started, just need that extra breath of confidence. And he had a great end to his 2022 season. So the Brewers certainly hoping that he continues that success in the ABL this year.
Gave up runs in only 2 outings. A hot shot to third, but nice play by Bennett. He spins and throws to first to retire Osborne. 2 gone.
And that's really just been the tail of the tape for the Aces lately. They've been hitting the ball hard because there's a lot of power in this lineup, but that was a really well-hit ball by Osborne, but just right to the third baseman.
The Aces looking to snap a 5-game losing skid, trailing here in the middle innings. The Aces are averaging just 3 runs per game during the 5-game losing streak, 15 runs in those 5 games. And get this number, Josh. The Aces are just 6 for 55 with runners in scoring position over their last 5, not counting tonight.
And that's a tough draw. I mean, they're getting the hits. The offense is there. It is just not coming at the right times for the Aces on this streak.
And just a 109 batting average with runners in scoring position in the 5 straight losses as Robson takes high and away. Whereas in the series against Perth here at home 2 weekends ago, the Aces went 9 for 30 with runners in scoring position over those 4 games. That's a 300 average. So cashing in on opportunities in that series, the Aces won 3 of 4. And then you see the numbers in the 5-game losing streak. Deep drive to center, but Tolbert's right there. And it's a quick 1-2-3 inning for Cameron Wagoner. We're through 4 full at Melbourne Ballpark. It's the Bandits 3 and the Aces 1. We head to the top of the 5th after this quick break on Aces TV. 45 years, Hobson's Bay Dental has delivered the best results through continually updating their skills and technology. Dr. Andrews and his team also take great pride in treating patients like family. Melbourne Aces players trust their teeth with Hobson's Bay Dental, and you should too. Business Network International is flourishing across Melbourne's West and Geelong. Local businesses, including the Aces, join BNI for professional development, networking opportunities, and increased business prospects. Find your local BNI chapter to tap into a wealth of resources and join a winning team. There are a lot of interesting spots to take in a game here at Melbourne Ballpark, and recently our own Ed Wyatt did a bit of exploring. Take a look at his visit to the Cyclone Tool Shed down the third base line.
This is the Cyclone Tool Shed. There aren't any rakes here, but there's food, there's drink, and there's a great place to watch a game. You got picnic tables. You can see the visiting team and give them a bad time, keeping it clean, of course. But you got bean bags where you can chill out. In fact, those bean bags looking pretty good. I might head down there myself. I think this Cyclone Tool Shed is going to work out just fine. As you can see, many places to watch a ball game here at Melbourne Ballpark. melbourneaces.com.au. Check it out. See you at the ballpark.
Top of the 5th inning here in Melbourne Ballpark. Saw some Halloween costumes up in that party deck. Bit late for that, but hey, nothing wrong with playing a little dress up at the ballpark. As the first pitch from Mincy to Darian Miller misses outside for ball 1. 3-1 the score. Aces trail thanks to 2 home runs in the last inning. A solo shot by Logan Wade and a 2-run shot by Donald Lutz. It's a 1-1 count now to the catcher Darian Miller, another Brewers prospect on this Bandit side. Even count, Mincy deals, breaking ball, catching the outside corner, and it's 1-2.
Tell you, Josh, we talk a lot about all the different food options here at Melbourne Ballpark, but the smell's in the air right now, incredible. I don't know if that's pizza or fries or both.
Oh, I see pizza. Popped high in the air towards the Cyclone Tool Shed out of play. Count stays 1-2.
I could go for either or both, I'll tell you that.
I know we get a lot of food from the canteen, but I think I might have to try some of those food trucks, particularly that pizza truck out in right field, I'll tell you.
Smells incredible right now.
Yeah. Popped foul again down the right field line.
That's really why we keep the windows open in the broadcast booth. It's not for the crowd mic. It's not to get a better feel of the atmosphere. It's for the food smells.
Oh, yeah. You know, it's not like we need it to see. We can see fine with the window closed. I just want to smell some pizza while I'm broadcasting.
It's all part of the experience.
Yeah.
You're taking in the sense of the ballpark.
The sight, sounds, and smells of the ballpark. That's what we need.
Smell baseball, as Irvin Santana always says.
Miller calls time, takes a step out of the batter's box. 3 runs on 6 hits with 2 errors for the Bandits. A run on a hit. No errors for the Aces. Jared Dale's infield single, the only base knock of the day for Melbourne. 2-2 count to Darian Miller. As Mincy, the Marlins prospect, is ready against his potential future NL rival. That's popped up into the infield. Running in and calling everyone off is the third baseman who steps over the mound. Robbie Glendinning comes up with it. That looked like it was destined for the right side of the infield, but I think I lost it in the sun. Luckily for the Aces, Robbie Glendinning did not.
Yeah, somebody had to take charge. Glendinning did a good job of not giving up on that just because it was on the other side of the diamond. But somebody had to make that grab. You heard, I got it. So good communication between the infielders. Mincy did the job to get out of the way and let his infield take over. And Robbie saved the day from that one dropping. Yeah, it's got to be tough for JD and George over there on the left side with the sun.
First pitch rocketed out to left field. Easy play for Robson, and Tyler Tolbert is down for the 3rd time tonight. 2 gone here in the 5th.
Well, it's really good to see Mincy settling in after those home runs. After the 2nd homer, came back and struck out Trowbridge to end the inning, and now 2 quick outs to start the 5th. Take a look at that replay again there. And ball middle, scorched to left center, but luckily for Mincy and the Aces, Robson right there played it perfectly.
So 2 away now, and a bunt laid down the first base side by Robert Moore. Right to Mincy. He's going to go for the tag out, and he gets it. Gets right on the number of Robert Moore as Cody Mincy puts an emphatic stamp on a 1-2-3 5th inning. The hustle from the pitcher, getting the out after Moore tried to sneak a bunt base hit down that first base line. 1-2-3 go the Bandits, but at the halfway point of this ball game, they lead it 3-1. We'll be right back right here on Aces TV.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Well, I just finished the light and easy, so now I'm good to go for the second half of this ball game. 3-1 the score. Bandits in the lead, but the Aces coming up with 7, 8, and 9. Matt O'Neill leads off the 5th by taking a strike.
Light and easy's always got me fueled, Josh. You know, pregame meal all the time. Got the snacks for the middle innings.
Those snacks come in clutch.
Yeah, the cheese and crackers, the granola bars. Big fan.
0-1, cut on a miss, and it's 0-2. Matt O'Neill, we don't call that an RBI, but he drove in the run on an error.
He gets the RBI. It would have been a sac fly if it had been caught.
That's fair. So, turns out I need to learn more about stats. 0-2. Slice high in the air and fell. And O'Neill up at the top of the list when it comes to aces and RBIs. J.D. Osborne leads with 13. But Matt O'Neill just 2 behind him with 11 ribbies on the year, now 12. The 0-2 from Wagner. Check swing right back to the pitcher. Easy play and out number 1.
Yeah, O'Neill frustrated with himself there. You see the way he slammed the bat to the ground. And look, I get it. Look, 5-game losing streak. You're trailing in the 6th straight. Just not much going offensively. Just a 1 run on 1 hit, and got to be some frustration in that aces dug. And it's just a tough situation. You know, when everybody's in a funk at the same time, you know, how do you really break out?
And you can see the frustration on Matt O'Neill on the All-Star Access Higher replay. But 1 out here in the bottom 5th. George Khalil looking to put a crooked number in the hit column for Melbourne as he fouls that back into the netting.
And it doesn't help that you come off getting swept on the road, and then you have to come back home, but you're playing the best team in the league. You know, a team that comes in at 10-2, now they're 11-2. The Bandits have just been rolling.
You have the longest losing streak in the ABL this season going up against the longest winning streak in the ABL this season as Khalil pulls back the bunt to make it 1-1.
I touched on it in the pregame, Josh, and look, a 5-game losing streak throughout the course of, let's say, a minor league or a major league season when you got 140 games in the minors, 162 in the majors, it's not that big a deal. But when you only play 40 games, a 5-game losing streak, I mean, that's a good chunk of the season right there.
That's 12% of the year.
I'm glad you had the percent because I was trying to do it in my head and I couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's one of the few ones I can actually do the math on. Thanks, Mom. She taught me math. 1-2. Misses outside the count 2-2.
A lot of people tried to teach me math. It didn't work. I mean, they did a good job. It's just like sometimes you just can't help it. You just don't, it's tough.
I think my mother, she's the smartest woman I know. I think she's the only one that taught me math and it actually took.
See, the best math, the math that I'm good at, like that I can deal with is like baseball stats. You know, I see baseball stats in front of me. You know, I can put some of that stuff together. But, you know, regular math, no, it doesn't work. Brain doesn't work that way.
I think you made a good career choice, my friend.
I'm telling you, it's like not much else. I can't do anything else with math. The only math I can deal with are these baseball stats.
Got to count to 3 and 4. That's about it. Payoff pitch. Popped up into right field. Yang running in towards the foul line, and he makes the catch for out number 2. So 2 gone for the Aces. They haven't put a runner on base since that Jared Dale infield hit in the 3rd inning. As we take another look at this, had the chance to leak in for a bloop single, but Daikang Yang all over it for the 2nd out.
Yeah, and just as they let Lazar settle in last night, they've let Wagner settle in tonight. And when you got they didn't have Wagner on the ropes tonight, but you know, getting a run off him early, you want to extend that lead. They had Lazar on the ropes last night and didn't make it pay.
And really, other than that 3rd inning, or that 2nd inning, excuse me, the Aces really haven't threatened all that much. Still got 1 run across, left 2 stranded in that frame, but that's the only inning that they've ended the inning with runners on. 0-1 to Cruz, misses outside, count 1-1. Cruz making his first start of the month of December. Was off the roster in the road series against against Adelaide. Made a couple starts in the opening series against Geelong as the breaking ball bounces in front of home plate to make it a 2-1 count to Cruz. (3-1) the score. Brisbane leads. 2 home runs for Brisbane. An RBI on an error for Matt O'Neill that scored Jacob's goal. 2-1. Inside. Count 3-1. Wagner deals. Fouled high and away down the right field side, and the count runs full. Cruz going deep in both counts. 5 pitches he's seen in each of his first 2 at-bats. As take another look at this souvenir-making foul ball. 2 outs. The payoff coming. Fouled away. We'll do it again. These are kind of at-bats that the Aces need. You got to battle against a pitcher like Wagner, who has cruised pretty well through this Aces lineup. About to hit his 70th pitch, just under 2/3 of his pitches gone for strikes. Payoff again. Swing and a miss. Tagged for safety by Miller, and another strikeout for Cameron Wagner. This one ends the inning. So the Bandits take down Melbourne 1-2-3. 5th punch out of the day for Wagner. Ends off the 5th, and we'll go into the 6th inning with the Bandits leading the Aces 3-1.
Save that try. When Brownie takes one for the team and Bradley skated by. This golden crusty pastry watched as Taylor kicked the sky. When Ben Simmons makes a 3, we give a big high five. What future sport looks like just won't be right without a pie. Oh, what a lovely pie, me mates are 4 and 25. Oi!
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Cody Mincy back out for the 6th in front of a near sold-out crowd here in Melbourne. Just a packed house of some of the best fans in Australia. Josh Sperber, Michael Mark Antonini here with you as the Aces trail the league best Brisbane Bandits by a score of 3-1. Top of the 6th inning, 3, 4, and 5 coming up, beginning with the ABL home run leader in TJ Bennett. First pitch of the 6th is drilled out to right field by Bennett, and you can kiss that one goodbye. Bennett parks his 7th home run of the season in the Aces bullpen. 9 off the single-season ABL mark, and it is 4-1 Brisbane.
Well, ball's jumping off the Bandits' bats tonight, and there's another pitch that Mincy just left too far out over the zone. And, yeah, Bennett just didn't miss it. I mean, the way he's swinging the bat, he's not going to miss that pitch. And things just continue to get worse for the Aces.
A 328 hitter on the year is Bennett, and that's only going to jump up. And Brisbane, 4 runs on 3 homers. 3 of their 7 hits have not come back. But Mincy's bounced back well after home runs. Sends the first pitch in for a strike to Logan Wade here. And the next one, weak chopper over to first base, fielded in fair territory by J.D. Osborne for out number 1.
We'll take a look at this replay right here. Mincy bouncing back from giving up the home runs, able to get the first out of the inning, and that's good to see. I mean, the last 2 times that Mincy gave, the first 2 home runs that Mincy gave up tonight, he came right back and got an out after that. So right now, just looking to limit the damage to that 4 runs in the game and the 1 here in this inning.
So 1 away for Andrew Campbell. The DH takes a bouncing pitch to make ball 1. But the home runs have been really the story of a lot of these Aces pitchers. Mincy and Jack Fox coming to mind, of guys who have pitched well for most of their outings, but just a couple home runs makes the difference. 1-0. Now that hits the outside corner to make it 1-1.
And look, Mincy's given up 3 long balls tonight, 2 solo shots, a 2-run homer. I mean, a lot of times that doesn't feel like that much. Look, if Mincy finishes this inning with just the 4 runs in, it's 6 innings, 4 runs. You know, like, you obviously would prefer it to be 2, 1, 0 runs, but that's a decent start from your starter. But the way the Aces bats have looked lately, you know, 4-1 feels like 8-1.
Now, he's allowed 4 runs on 7 hits. His counterpart, Cameron Wagner, has allowed 1 run on 1 hit, and that run's unearned. I mean, just different teams at the plate, really. 1-1, and that is fouled off of something. Not sure if that hit off the umpire, Ian Gavin, or off of Matt O'Neill's pad there. We'll see on the replay here, but it stays 2-2. Ooh. Right off the knee. That can't feel good. 2-2. Check swing, no appeal needed. Called the strikeout on a swinging strike 3. Cody Mincy, just his 2nd strikeout of the game, but out number 2 here in the 6th.
That was a really nice pitch. Fooled Campbell, went with the slider down and in. I mean, he had no chance of hitting that. Take a look at the replay here. I mean, this pitch was filthy from Mincy. Good target, low and in from Matt O'Neill. And look, that pitch is not anywhere close to the strike zone, but that's where Mincy wanted it. He wanted Campbell to go after that and chase a pitch out of the zone, and it happened.
And the first pitch by Yang fouled off down the right field line. That ball's going to end up in the car park. Yang, 3 hits in this series so far, all singles. But each time he has hit, a run has scored. He scored in the 4th on Donald Lutz's home run as he takes ball 1. And then he scored a run in the 6th, drove in a run in the 4th for his 2 hits last night. 1-1. Inside, a nice-looking cutter by Cody Mincy to make it 1-2. The pitch. Miss low with the change, 2-2.
One of the other keys to the game that I mentioned was feel the pressure. Look, I mean, this Aces team has to be feeling the pressure right now, given that it's only a 40-game season, losing 5 in a row, in danger of making it 6 in a row, going 3 games under 500. Look, I mean, they got to be feeling uncomfortable, and as that looked like strike 3 there, everybody in the field for the Aces thought it was, but it's not, and Cody's not happy about the call. But look, it's about that time where if the Aces, you know, really start to think like, hey, look, this season could slip away from us. You know, we got to turn things around, and you know, that sense of urgency could take over.
And at home would be the place to do it. Payoff pitch. And that misses low and outside for ball 4. That was a close call at home plate once again, but Cody Mincy has taken to the 6th inning to walk his first batter.
Yeah, Cody frustrated with the home plate umpire Ian Gavin there because he thought he had an inning-ending strikeout, and instead it's a 2-out walk. Now Cody walked really close to home plate to get that new baseball from Matt O'Neill, and I think part of that was because he wanted to voice his frustration with the balls and strikes being called here in the inning. And now for Cody, you just got to take a minute to regroup and get that final out of the inning.
So 2 out for Donald Lutz, who last time had a 2-out base runner in the 4th, and he made the Aces pay, hitting a home run out to right field. This time it's a 1-0 count to the power hitter, former major leaguer as well. Swing and a miss, another home run hack from Lutz makes it even at 1-1.
Why not? If you got that pop in your bat, you might as well swing for the fences every chance you get. I mean, he's taking some healthy cuts right there.
He's just one of those guys, kind of the modern power hitter, whose only objective is to leave the yard. He's done that once already. No stranger to home runs in the ABL. Does have a major league home run under his belt as well. 1-1, throw back to first base, and standing up safely is Dai Kang Yang.
It's got some Matt Stairs vibes. Swing as hard as you can from the left side and hope you can golf one out.
Oh, that's a name I haven't heard in a while.
I'm a Philly guy, You got to bring up Matt Stairs every once in a while. A legend in Philly.
Makes sense. 1-1. Called strike 2. A breaking ball on the outside corner. And once again, Mincy is 1 strike away.
And the last time he had 2 outs and 2 strikes on Lutz. Lutz went deep to right, hoping that history doesn't repeat itself here.
Kind of attack him with a pitch on the corners on the 1-2. Mincy deals. Inside, but just missing low. Count evens at 2-2. Looking similar to that last Lutz at bat. He had him on a 1-2 count, but lost him late. Lutz worked at full, and then took him yard. Mincy trying, as you said, not to repeat history. 2-2. Foul tip, and we'll do it again.
That's a good pitch on the outer half right there. Lutz, you see him covering the entire plate right there, is able to step towards third base and fight that one off. That was a good pitch, though.
And that one really kind of meant to get in Mincy's head, I think, because he's got enough power behind that swing that even if he's reaching for it, he was bent over trying to get the bat on that ball. That still could have poked into the outfield. Throw back to first base. Close, but not in time. Some action going on in the Aces bullpen as well. Looks like a righty is warming up. But the 2-2 to Lutz. Foul tip, and we'll do it again.
It's good to see Cody work into this 6th inning tonight. Throw some more pitches in his last start. 5 innings, 77 pitches, but came out of the game after that. Had been dealing with a little bruise around the knee, so he didn't go too deep. And his first 2 starts of the year, just still getting built back up, only 5 innings as well. So good to see him working deeper into this game, throwing some more pitches, and that's going to be great for this Aces pitching staff moving forward.
Speaking of the Aces pitching staff, it's Cameron Gibbons warming up in the pen as another unsuccessful pickoff attempt. Still a 2-2 count to Lutz, and he does what he does best, just fight off 2 strike pitches. Mincy looking to end the inning. Gets set, and he deals. Off goes Yang. Lutz sends this one into the air out in left field. Robson eases back towards the warning track, but makes the catch to end the 6th inning. 1 run comes home. Another home run for Brisbane. TJ Bennett went yard, but that was it. 1 left on the 1 hit, and it's 4-1 Brisbane. The Aces look to strike back in the bottom half of the 6th inning here on Aces TV.
For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150 varieties of vibrant plants, most of them grown locally right here in Werribee South. We have qualified horticulturists on site to help assist with all your gardening needs, and our home decor section is stocked with a full range of quality options. All Green Nursery, your local plant nursery and garden centre. Visit our sites in Hoppers Crossing and Epping. All-Star Access Hire are your access equipment specialists. We have an extensive range of state-of-the-art equipment, and we pride ourselves on delivering outstanding customer service. We have the youngest fleet of equipment in Victoria, and we are consistently adding new machines. We get to know our customers and form partnerships with them. This video is of our partnership with the Victorian Government at Reservoir Station. All-Star Access Hire are proud sponsors of the Melbourne Aces and our All-Star Bar.
First pitch of the inning misses low and outside to Jared Dale. 4-1 the score. Cam Wagner still in for the sixth against the top of the Aces order. Wagner deals inside, count 2-0. Dale has the lone Aces hit, an infield single in his last time up in the third, but was nullified by a double play. 1 for 2, a single and a strikeout for the Aces shortstop. A pro since 16 as he takes a called strike, 2-1. His brother Ryan Dale played for the Aces earlier on in the season. The youngest of three brothers, all of whom have played baseball at one level or another, as Dale sends that foul 2-2. His brother Ryan said that I think Jared might have become the best because he was playing with his older brothers. Oldest brother is a pitcher. Ryan, obviously, a utility infielder for the Aces like Jared, but Jared has risen to the most success in baseball for club and country. Full count on Dale. In the Padres system, played with High A Fort Wayne, got some time in El Paso, the AAA affiliate of San Diego, later on in the season. And also played with Team Australia in the Samurai Series in Japan. Payoff pitch. Hit up the middle. That's going to fall into center field. Jared Dale puts a second hit on the board. He has both of the Aces knocks on today's contest. A leadoff single in the sixth, and the Aces have a runner on base for the first time since Dale's hit in the third.
Got to get something going any way you can, and good to see Jared with a couple knocks. That's his first multi-hit game of the season, and doing a job at the top of the lineup. See if this can get the rest of the boys going.
So that'll bring up Aaron Whitefield, 0 for 2 today, with a good runner on first base. Dale's stolen a couple bags this season, so you know the Bandits will be watching out for him, but the Bandits know better than most the damage that Whitefield can cause at the plate.
Yeah, I mean, he crushed that ball in his second plate appearance. Just didn't have enough height or length on it.
1-0, breaking ball, stays upstairs, 2-0.
It's one of those balls where when things are going right, that gets over an outfielder's head, or it drops in front of one because the guy's playing a little deeper or finds a gap. The thing's just not going the Aces' way right now. They haven't been able to find the holes.
2-0 to Whitefield. Just catching the outside corner, and it's 2-1. Whitefield has played half of his ABL career for the bases, for the Bandits. I'm mixing up both teams. Hitting over 300 in 2 of 3 seasons with Brisbane. 2-1, misses outside, 3-1. Did win a couple of Claxton Shields with the Bandits, a couple of Helms Awards, Defensive Player of the Year. He just about won it all with his hometown Bandits as he takes a called strike to make it 3-2.
Yeah, you look at just the numbers that he put up. Just looking at his stat sheet, it's pretty fun to look at. You see all the 300, 300, 300, on base percentage around 400. The OPS skyrocketing every year.
Off goes Dale on the 3-2 as that's launched high in the air out to right field, but Yang calmly under it, and he'll make the grab. Dale back to first base with 1 out in the 6th.
Whitefield slammed his bat there. He's not happy either. Just a lot of frustrated players in that Aces dugout. And, yeah, I mean, when things snowball like this, when the losses pile up and you just can't get anything going offensively, I mean, solid contact off the bat, but just got under it a little bit. And that's what happens. Guys just missing pitches, and, it's a different, a couple inches is the difference between a home run and a flyout.
They say game of inches back home, but since we're in Australia, baseball is really a game of millimeters. as that one is hit to second base on the hit and run. No play at second, but Robbie Glendinning out at first base on the 6-3 putout. 2 away now in the 6th inning. But Jared Dale moves into scoring position for Melbourne.
I like that they put Dale in motion right there. And if nothing else, you stay out of the double play because this is tailor-made 6-4-3 if Dale's not running on the play. Now, Wade did take a little extra time to field that, didn't necessarily field it cleanly. But you stay out of the double play, you keep the inning alive for Skoll, who's swung a good bat in his 2 games so far. And, you see what happens with 2 downs with a new pitcher coming in.
And as you said, a new pitcher coming in for Brisbane. Looks like Parker Harm is coming back after pitching a couple innings last night. Wagner gone after 5 2/3. And we're going to take a short break here as the pitching change brought to you by Punt 1-2-3 will bring in a new hurler for Brisbane. Jacob Skoll will come up in the bottom of the 6th next here on Aces TV. TV pitching change brought to you by Punt123.bet as Parker Harm comes in for the 2nd time. He allowed a run on 2 hits, but got 2 strikeouts in his 1 inning of work. That was the 7th. Must have been the 8th inning. So he allowed the tying run for the Aces.
And this is good situational baseball from the Bandits. 2 of the next 3 hitters are left-handed, and we saw last night Harm is really tough on lefties. Robson had a tough time against him last night, and now Skoll will be the first one to greet him tonight with 2 outs and a key run on second base. Now, of course, that run doesn't mean a whole lot right now, but for Brisbane, you want to keep as many off the board as you can and maintain that 3-run lead. So you go to a stopper here with a tough lefty at the plate, you bring in a lefty of your own.
And Skoll 1 for 1 against Parker Harm with a leadoff double in that 8th inning. First pitch, a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, 0-1. This is Skoll's 2nd game, 0 for 1 with a walk, a stolen base, and a run scored. And he scored 3 of the 5 Aces runs coming across the plate since he came to Melbourne. 2 runs scored last night and a 3rd here. The 0-1. Outside, count 1-1. And Harm, kind of unorthodox delivery pitcher, side armor, pitches out of the 3/4 arm slot, which makes that breaking ball, that slider especially, difficult to see. The run he allowed last night was his first run surrendered in this ABL season as the slider crosses home plate to make it 1-2. .96 ERA, and now his 6th appearance of 2022. Skoll, a former first-round pick, Texas Rangers 15th overall in 2010. He fouls that away and will stay alive. An interesting story, though, Skoll. Never made it to the majors. Was out of minor league baseball in 2016. Chose to go back to school at his hometown, University of Georgia. Was on the practice squad for the college football juggernaut, the Georgia Bulldogs. 2-time Scout Team Player of the Year. Played 4 games at the highest level of collegiate football. Foul tip into the glove, and that is strike 3. So the Aces leave a runner on second in the 6th. Skoll down on strikes. And it's still 4-1 Bandits. We'll head into the 7th inning. Aussie Mike will grab the microphone, give you the play-by-play duties for the 7th and 8th. Coming back right after this here on Aces TV.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Top of the 7th inning from Melbourne Ballpark, Aussie Mike and Josh Sperber bringing you the action all weekend long on Aces TV. The Aces trail the Brisbane Bandits 4-1 in Game 2 of 4 between the two teams this weekend. Round 4 of the 2022-2023 ABL season. Aces looking to snap a 5-game losing streak, but they'll need some runs if they want to snap that streak tonight. Aces have lost 5 in a row. The Bandits have won 8 in a row. Two teams trending in different directions. And looking to keep it a 3-run deficit for the Aces is right-hander Cam Gibbons, who takes over on this punt 1-2-3 pitching change in relief of Cody Mincy, who threw 92 pitches, 62 for strikes in 6 innings of work. He gave up 4 runs, all earned, all via the long ball, a 2-run homer and 2 solo shots. Scattered 7 hits, struck out 2 and walked just 1. So Cody's night is done. He can lose it, he cannot win it. But Mincy in his longest outing of the season was pretty good. Just not much run support for him. Just 1 run of support tonight. And now the tall right-hander Gibbons gets the bottom 3 in the order for the Bandits. So we've got a pinch hitter here in the 7 hole, so Donald Lutz. Oh no, I'm tripping. Lutz made the last out of the last inning. I had something messed up in my scorebook. So Lutz made the final out of the 6th, and here leading off the 7th is the 8-hole hitter, Logan Trowbridge. So it's 8-9-1, not 7-8-9. So those are the 3 that Gibbons will face. There's a strike called on the outer half, so instead of a 5-pitch walk, it's now 3-2. And the walks have hurt Gibbons at times. Looking to even out that strikeout to walk ratio. So far this season, Gibbons in 4 outings, he's walked 5 and struck out just 1. Well, he gets a no strikeout there. It was tipped in and out of the glove of O'Neill. Gibbons a 2.25 ERA through those 4 appearances. He's worked 4 separate 1-inning relief stints. He's allowed just 1 hit and 1 run, but those 5 walks, again, an issue. Gibbons last pitched on November 27th at Adelaide, took a no decision. Pitched twice in that series, and he gets a punch out to start the 7th here. So Gibbons retires the first batter he faces. It's just the 3rd strikeout of the night for Aces pitchers.
And Logan Trowbridge having some words with Ian Gavin, not happy about the strike call, particularly strike 2. But a clear strikeout there, and a good way to start off the outing in relief for Cameron Gibbons.
So here's the catcher, Darian Miller. Miller doubled his first time up, popped out to 3rd in the 5th. Gibbons in his 5th outing of the season. Youngster on this Melbourne staff. Softly hit ground ball to second. Khalil didn't field it cleanly, but he recovers in time to make the play at first. 2 up, 2 down for Cam.
And that's, I mean, George Khalil, just such a good fielder. Even at second base, no matter where you are in the ballpark, if you bobble a ball in the infield, you shouldn't be able to get it back to first base that cleanly. And George Khalil, you see a little bit of a bobble on the transfer, but really quickly just barehands it, flips it right to J.D. Osborne. He is such a strong defender.
So Gibbons a chance for a 1-2-3 7th and get the Aces back into the dugout, looking for some runs. The Aces bullpen has been really good so far this season. In 50 innings of work, Aces relievers have combined for a 2.88 ERA. 45 strikeouts in those 50 innings as well for the relief corps. Aces starters, meanwhile, not counting Mincy's start tonight, had a 5.33 ERA coming in. That number's skewed a little bit as well, just a couple tough outings for Aces starters. But overall, the bullpen's been really good with that sub-3 ERA. And Josh, some reinforcements coming along. Kevin Lennick just joined the team yesterday, and he's a guy that we assume will pitch at some point in this series. Bullpen just keeps getting better.
I'm really excited to see him pitch. I got to see him in Palm Springs in the California Winter League pitch in front of some major league scouts. And he's a guy with minor league experience, a guy who has a nice combination of pitches and can throw pretty hard. He'll be a good asset for the Aces out of the pen.
Gibbons falls behind Tyler Tolbert 3-1. Had a chance to talk to Kevin today, and really nice guy, as really all the Aces are. You know, we got a great group of guys here in Melbourne, but a guy who's hungry to get out there and show what he can do at this stage of his career. Gibbons, early on in his career, has turned some heads, a member of the Los Angeles Dodgers organization, and has been really good so far in his first few seasons in Melbourne. So he walks Tolbert with 2 down, and that brings up Robert Moore.
And you talked about the walk getting him in trouble. A leadoff walk we've talked a lot about as being really just a big no-no for pitchers. A 2-out walk isn't too much higher up on that list. If you got 2 outs, you want to just shut the door on the team you're facing.
Big swing and a miss, a fastball for Moore. It's 0-1. Moore is the number 18th ranked prospect in the Milwaukee Brewers organization, according to MLB.com. He had a really good start to his ABL season. 1 for 3 tonight, singled in the first. Takes a fastball high there from Gibbons. Well, command is an issue for Gibbons at times, and you got to imagine, Josh, that as young as he is and as projectable as a body build as he has and as fast as he throws, that's something he'll be able to harness as he gets older.
Yeah, it's something we've talked about with not just Cam Gibbons, but plenty of other of the young pitchers that you see in this league. That's what's going to happen. If you throw hard, it's about getting that ball over the plate, and that's really the next step because the stuff is there from Gibbons. The pitching arsenal is not extensive, but he has the stuff to be a good pitcher. It's just a matter of keeping it under control consistently.
Yeah, Gibbons just 27 years old. A couple of years of minor league ball in the Dodgers system. He's been up to Double-A Tulsa in the Dodgers organization. He continues to develop as a pitcher. Gets a pitch on the outer half there, so from 3-1 to 3-2. Not much going offensively for the Aces tonight, just 1 run on 2 hits. Jared Dale has both hits. 3 homers for the Bandits on the flip side. Chopper out to second, easy for George Khalil. He is a vacuum over there at the Keystone. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left for Brisbane in the top of the 7th. Time to stretch here at Melbourne Ballpark. Aces need some runs, down 4-1. Keep it locked right here on Aces TV. Hey, Josh, you any chance you need to get your teeth cleaned anytime soon?
I actually got it before I came out here, but, I mean, I probably should anyway. It's been a while.
Hey, I mean, if you need to stop in, why not stop in at Hobson's Bay Dental? For over 45 years, they've delivered really good results, always updating their skills and technology. Dr. Andrews and his team always doing a great job treating the Melbourne Aces like family, and Hey, look, you need those teeth cleaned before the holidays. Hobson's Bay Dental's your spot.
Yeah, all the sugary food I'm eating, I'm definitely going to need to head over there.
Yeah, talk about another business that's flourishing across Melbourne's West End, Geelong. That's Business Network International. Those guys having a lot of fun at the ballpark last night. They were in our party suite, so a big shout-out to BNI. And those local businesses, including the Aces, joined BNI for professional development, networking opportunities, and to increase business prospects. So you can check out your local BNI chapter. And Josh, just like we've had here in Melbourne the last couple of years, you can join a winning team at BNI.
I mean, if the Aces are supporting them, you know they're a winning team.
Yeah. A lot of, let's see, and then New Era Technology provides specialized IT solutions for your business, sound, internet, and voice communications. So with managed services as well as secure cloud hosting for data and software. Trusted by the Aces, trusted by us, New Era, their extensive team of engineers and sales professionals provide hands-on collaboration that's backed by deep industry training. Well, Josh, I know we do the New Era Technology starting lineups every day. They're always getting us right for the start of the broadcast.
I mean, if we don't have starting lineups in the broadcast, I mean that we're not really able to broadcast. I really appreciate them helping us out there.
Sweet Caroline bumping through the speakers here at Melbourne Ballpark. Big crowd on hand tonight. Loving the vibes in the ballpark tonight. We are loving the vibes up here in the broadcast booth, but obviously we'd be loving it more if the Aces were in the lead. They trail the Brisbane Bandits 4-1 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Sam Holland is the new pitcher for the Bandits. We've got another punt 1-2-3 pitching change. Holland, like Parker Harm, pitched an inning last night. Holland, a scoreless inning in relief. He pitched the 6th. And this deep Brisbane bullpen has been so good all season. And the Aces saw last night how good it is.
Yeah, 1 inning of work with a strikeout for Holland last night, but the Aces have seen him already, looking to take advantage and maybe learn a couple things.
It's J.D. Osborne, Jacob Robson, and Matt O'Neill, 5-6-7 here in the 7th. Aces need at least 3. Trailing 4-1. The Aces' only run came in the 2nd. Jacob Skoll scored from 3rd on a fly ball hit to right off the bat of Matt O'Neill. Would have been a sac fly had it been caught, but Yang, the right fielder, either lost it in the sun or misjudged it. Ball fell. But either way, that's how the Aces got their only run. And the Bandits got 3 of their own in the 4th as Osborne pops one out to 2nd. That's out number 1 in the 7th. And then another in the 6th. All 4 runs via the home run. Solo shot from Logan Wade to tie the game. And Donald Lutz gave the Bandits the lead with a 2-run homer with 2 outs in the 4th. And then for good measure, the ABL's home run leader, TJ Bennett, added 1 to right in the 6th. And here we are, 4-1 in the bottom of the 7th. Robson looking for his first hit of this series. Hitless last night. Hitless tonight, but he has reached safely. Walked in the 2nd. Next pitch from Holland, fouled back. So Parker Harm got the final out of the 6th. His night is finished after just a 3rd of an inning. And now Holland.
Harm struck out the only batter he faced, and Holland a similar kind of deceptive delivery, 3/4 arm slot as well, but against the lefty Robson, I like his odds. You know, that you just give it a little bit more space to see the ball in kind of a wider angle at home plate, and this might be the kind of pitcher that Robson needs to face to get himself back on track.
Aces with just 2 hits in the game. Jared Dale, the leadoff man, has both. 2 batters have walked. Robson and Skoll have each walked in the game. Just 4 base runners in the game for the Aces. Big difference from last night. Aces had runners on all night. Just 2 for 17 with runners in scoring position last night. They left 13 men on base. Well, different story tonight, Josh. There haven't been many men on base at all, so not a lot of guys to drive in when they're not out there for you to drive in.
You got to give a lot of credit to Cam Wagner. And Parker Harm had a nice, one batter outing, struck out the only batter he saw. And, yeah, I mean, when you meet good pitching, that's going to happen. But the Aces definitely have the horses to turn things around.
Robson working the count. It's 2-2. A little tapper that gets past Holland out to second. Nice play by Moore, and an even better stretch from Lutz at first base. Josh looked like he hurt himself there on the stretch. That can't feel good.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to get up if I try to make a stretch like that, but you got to have a heads-up play. Lutz really had to stretch at every point of himself because, a step later, Robson beats that out for an infield single. He was really hustling down that first baseline, and Moore knew he had to go quickly. Lutz knew he had to make a big stretch because look how close this is. If he lets that go to the base, Robson might be safe.
Yeah, I was hoping he didn't pull a groin or a hamstring or anything like that. 2 outs and no one on. O'Neill takes inside. Well, it's not easy to go from a hard-throwing starter who comes over the top, then you got a side-arming lefty, and now you got a submarine righty. I guess not a submarine, but that sidearm delivery, the torque of the arm a lot different than you'd normally see.
I mean, you get different angles and different releases with everyone, but these are probably the most stark.
Someone might have clipped O'Neill's jersey. Well, no call from Ian Gavin behind home plate, and O'Neill wasn't heading down to first. Take a look at the replay, and actually was around the kneecaps. But that's 2 in on O'Neill right there. That's outside, ball 3.
Might not have come that close to hitting him, but, I mean, certainly looked it.
(3-1) to O'Neill. He takes ball 4 low and away. And the Aces have a 2-out base runner. That brings up George Khalil.
And this is what we talked about in the pregame. For the Aces, particularly tonight, base runners have been at a premium. And 2 outs or not, this is a time to turn things on and try and take advantage of the fact when there are guys on base to drive in.
3 walks, 2 singles, just 5 base runners for the Aces in this game. Well, 6. There was an error as well. Aces being out hit 7-2 in this one as Holland misses low and in again to a right-handed hitter. Yeah, I've always wondered how guys just start to throw that way. Obviously a traditional over-the-top delivery is what most guys go with, but how do you end up throwing from the side like that? And I got to imagine it's a different answer for every guy.
I only know one answer to that question just from guys I talked to. A Rays prospect, Antonio Menendez, was actually coached in his youth baseball days by Billy Wagner.
Broken bat grounder to the left side. Nice diving stop by Bennett. And the ball goes into right field. So O'Neill advances to third. And the Aces have runners at the corners with the tying run at the plate now in the form of Jared Cruz.
I'll continue the story in a little bit, but these are the kind of things that need to break your way for Melbourne. 3 errors in this contest for Brisbane, and Cruz needs to take advantage. That looked like just an easy out, but just an errant throw by T.J. Bennett that keeps the Aces in this.
The barrel of the bat went sailing into left field. That's a tough play. And they give George Khalil a hit there, so the 3rd hit of the game for the Aces. So here's Jared Cruz, the designated hitter, 0 for 2. 0 for 4 now in this series. Swings at the first pitch and sends one down the right field line, but way out of play, foul.
They hit to Khalil, but still an E5. And to continue my story there, Mike, so Billy Wagner was speaking to one of these Rays prospects, Antonio Menendez, just saying that mixing up his deliveries is just another good way to get some more velocity, get some more spin on the ball.
Slowly hit ground ball to third, and Bennett waited back on it, and it hits the bag, and now he throws it away. One run's in for the Aces. Scott Meager waving home George Khalil. Here's the throw to the plate, not in time and up the line. The Aces plate 2 on the second error of the inning for the Bandits. And the tying run's now in scoring position. An infield single for Jared Cruz. So he gets 1 RBI, and then the throwing error brought home the second, so just 1 RBI on the play. Take a look at this replay. Well, first, the third baseman Bennett waited back to see if that ball would roll foul. It didn't. It hit the bag. He fielded it cleanly. And then instead of just eating it, he decided to throw to first, and it was just wide and high. Well, that's something that'll fire up this crowd. Brought the energy back into the ballpark, and it should just be a 4-2 game, but instead it's 4-3. Aces taking advantage of 4 Brisbane errors tonight.
Better lucky than good sometimes, but I'm sure the Aces will certainly take it. Still just showing the fight in these guys and the hustle. Khalil and Cruz still hustling down that line. That they, error or not, they would have made it close plays.
Dale, who has 2 of the 4 hits for the Aces, sends 1 foul. How about the bottom of the order getting it done? And, you know, the ball hasn't left the infield, but George Khalil and Jared Cruz in the 8-9 hole coming up with back-to-back singles.
And you saw that pitch from Dale just a little bit late on it. Right down the middle with that fastball from Sam Holland.
Cruz a big lead-off second. 1-1 to Dale, swing and a miss.
Went right back to the fastball. Dale went for it. And you've seen the Aces really up and down the order. These guys have been missing pitches, but not by that much. One of these games, one of these innings, things are just going to click, and the Aces are going to get back to the offense that we saw in the Perth series.
2-2 now on Dale as he takes outside. Well, Holland has been a little wild in the inning. Hasn't been as around the plate as he was last night. 2 two-out infield singles and a couple errors, and it's a 1-run game. Ground ball to third. This time Bennett fields it cleanly, and this time he throws accurately over to first. So the inning's over, but the Aces send 6 to the plate. They score 2 times. They do it on 2 hits, 2 errors, and they leave 1. We've got a 1-run ball game headed to the top of the 8th after this on Aces TV.
For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150 varieties of vibrant plants, most of them grown locally right here in Werribee South. We have qualified horticulturalists on site to help assist with all your gardening needs, and our home decor section is stocked with a full range of quality options. All Green Nursery, your local plant nursery and garden centre. Visit our sites in Hoppers Crossing and Epping. All-Star Access Hire are your access equipment specialists. We have an extensive range of state-of-the-art equipment, and we pride ourselves on delivering outstanding customer service. We have the youngest fleet of equipment in Victoria, and we are consistently adding new machines. We get to know our customers and form partnerships with them. This video is of our partnership with the Victorian Government at Reservoir Station. All-Star Access Hire are proud sponsors of the Melbourne Aces and our All-Star Bar.
The momentum could be swinging in the Aces' favor. 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th thanks to a couple Brisbane errors and a couple Aces infield singles. George Khalil and Jared Cruz both with 2 outs Infield singles to keep the inning going. A couple errors, throwing errors from Brisbane third baseman TJ Bennett. And the Aces are right back in it. It's 4-3 as we open play in the top of the 8th. Good vibes in the ballpark. Great crowd on hand tonight. Great weather. You know, I'm not shivering up in the booth. That's always a positive. And we've got some great throwback jams being bumped on the speakers here at Melbourne Ballpark, Josh.
Oh, yeah. They gotta love a good banger to get the crowd going.
Shout out to our guy Tony up here and the rest of the crew. Always got the good jams going here at the ballpark. A 4-3 Brisbane as Cam Gibbons almost hits the 3-hole hitter and leadoff man in this inning, TJ Bennett. Well, Bennett homered his last time up, and thanks to a couple errant throws from him over at the hot corner, the Aces are within 1.
See how close this was. Yeah, Bennett scoots his feet right out of the way, or that ball was beelined for him.
2-0 from Gibbons, sent in the air, deep left field. Robson ranges back, and that one sails over the wall. A solo shot for TJ Bennett. 2 homers in the game for him. He's gone deep in each of his last 2 at-bats. That one got out in a hurry.
Man, I think Robson thought that was going to hit off the wall, but that one just snuck over it. Bennett responsible for 2 runs with home runs number 7 and 8 on the season, but a couple of errors have cost a couple for the other way for the Aces, and now it's Peter Moylan coming out to take Cam Gibbons out of this game.
Bennett now, with those 8 homers, he's got a legitimate shot to break the ABL single-season home run record. We're only in round 4, so Gibbons, who came out for a second frame for the first time this season, is done after an inning plus. He faces 5 batters, got 3 of them out, and the Aces will bring in another righty. We'll let you know who it is when we come back. We'll take a quick break. It's Brisbane 5 and Melbourne 3. Keep it right here on Aces TV.
For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150 varieties of vibrant plants, most of them grown locally right here in Werribee South. We have qualified horticulturists on site to help assist with all your gardening needs, and our home decor section is stocked with a full range of quality options. All Green Nursery, your local plant nursery and garden centre. Visit our sites in Hoppers Crossing and Epping. All-Star Access Hire are your access equipment specialists. We have an extensive range of state-of-the-art equipment, and we pride ourselves on delivering outstanding customer service. We have the youngest fleet of equipment in Victoria, and we are consistently adding new machines. We get to know our customers and form partnerships with them. This video is of our partnership with the Victorian Government at Reservoir Station. All-Star Access Hire are proud sponsors of the Melbourne Aces and our All-Star Bar.
Well, after the Aces cut the deficit to just 1 run with 2 in the bottom of the 7th, the Bandits come right back. TJ Bennett, a leadoff homer in the 8th off Cameron Gibbons, gives Brisbane an insurance run. It's now 5-3. We've got another punt 1-2-3 pitching change as right-hander Kevin Lennox comes on to make his Aces debut. He gets Logan Wade, Andrew Campbell, and Dai Kang Yang. As there are no outs in the 8th. First pitch, bunt attempt, foul. As Wade tried to bunt for a hit. So Lennox gets ahead of Wade 0-1. Lennox joins the Aces with 6 seasons of professional experience on his resume. 95 relief appearances in 4 minor league seasons in the Texas Rangers, Kansas City Royals, and Boston Red Sox organizations. He's got a 3.96 career minor league ERA. Really solid numbers for him, and he's spent a lot of his minor league time at AAA. In 2017, he had a 1.69 ERA in 19 games, with 12 of those coming for AAA Omaha in the Royals system. And then he had career bests during the 2018 campaign, career high 34 games and 49 1/3 innings, all at AAA with the Royals. And 25 games between the Royals and Red Sox farm systems in 2019. Most recently, he's pitched a couple years of independent ball. Spent 2022 with the Sioux City Explorers in the Independent American Association. 2 strikes on Wade. That misses high. It's 1-2. Lennox struck out 42 and walked just 13 over 38 1/3 innings of work in 31 relief appearances for Sioux City. The American Association continues to attract big-time talent. The Atlantic League for a lot of years has been the #1 independent league in the United States. And the American Association is closing the gap with the talent that they get over the last couple of years. Swing and a miss. Lennox first out in the ABL is a strikeout. Logan Wade goes down swinging.
Well, welcome to Melbourne, Kevin. Good way to start it off, as it looks like Ian Gavin was saying something towards the Aces dugout about maybe balls and strikes.
A good start to Lennox in an Aces uniform. Here's Andrew Campbell, who's 0 for 3, struck out swinging in his last plate appearance.
And Lennox mainly a fastball guy. He can hit up to 95 consistently on the radar gun. That's in miles per hour, of course.
Of course.
But, you know, more math I don't know is how to do the switch to kilometers an hour.
It's just a lot, you know what I mean? Mentally, it's a lot to handle.
He throws hard, that's the point.
Yeah. lot of speed on that fastball. Another swing and a miss. 2 straight punch outs for Lennox, and he's locked in early.
Yeah, just throwing straight flames towards the plate, going right after these guys. Wade had already had 2 hits, no problem. Campbell struck out now in each of his last 2 at-bats, and big part of that is because of the fastballs Lennox was throwing. And look at that swing, just a half swing from Campbell. He couldn't touch that fastball.
Looking to strike out the side. He starts Yang off with a strike. Well, Lennox pitched collegiately at Cal State University Dominguez Hills in Carson, California, and then Hawaii Pacific University in Honolulu, Hawaii. That had been pretty sweet. Line drive. Oh, look what I found. J.D. Osborne. Step on the bag to end the inning. Lennox faces 3. He retires all 3 batters. Some glove work from Osborne to help his pitcher get out of the inning. 1 run on a solo shot from T.J. Bennett. That's it. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Aces trail by 2. Keep it locked right here on Aces TV.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Great crowd on hand tonight at Melbourne Ballpark. Another shot at the J.D. Osborne fan club. They got the headbands out there. I got to get one of those, Josh.
Yeah, I think we need a broadcaster headband. That'd be a nice look.
I've done it I've done it before, but I might have to unleash headband Mike up here in the booth. Aussie Mike and headband Mike colliding. I don't know if anybody can handle that. I don't know if you'll be able to handle that up here.
Nah, that'll be too many nicknames for me to keep track of.
I'll write them down for you.
Thank you. I'm going to need that. If I don't have anything written down, I'm not going to know
Just toss me your scorebook before the game. I'll make a list. I need some of the free space you got there.
Much appreciated. Not a lot of free space on this book, though.
Bottom of the 8th, Brisbane 5, Melbourne 3. Kevin Lennox relieved Cam Gibbons in the 7th after Gibbons gave up a leadoff home run to T.J. Bennett. Lennox went strikeout, ground out. Now the Aces with some work to do, down 2. The Aces got 2 in the bottom of the 7th. Took advantage of a couple Brisbane errors. The Bandits have made 4 errors in the game, but the Aces still trail. Just 4 hits, all singles, and 2 of them have stayed in the infield. Fastball over to Aaron Whitefield. It's Whitefield, Glendinning, and Skoll, 2-3-4. We got another punt 1-2-3 pitching change as the Bandits bring on Carter Hope. And Hope, like the first 2 relievers of the game for Brisbane, pitched last night as well. So we're seeing the A-team out of the bullpen for Brisbane once again. And, you know, rightfully so. Close game last night, close game tonight. They want their best arms out there. Hope worked a scoreless 7th last night.
They're getting all their arms out there.
Whitefield down on strikes. Fastball by him. And 1 down in the 8th.
Good pitch from Hope. You know, you got a good hitter like Whitefield. He's got the aggression, but you got to attack him with fastballs, and Hope did just that. Blows one by him.
Aces looking for another rally. All 3 Aces runs tonight unearned. So 4 Brisbane errors have led to all 3. Glendinning looking for his first hit of the series. He's 0 for 3, a strikeout, a double play, and then another ground out.
And he's staying patient in the box. The guy's just a really good hitter. So he's going to wait on his pitch and not swing at anything far out of the zone.
Robbie fouls one back. It's 2-1. Well, Robbie hit safely in all 4 games in Adelaide. Was one of the few guys that did damage at the plate in that series. Of course, the Aces were swept in Adelaide. Lost game 1 of this series last night. 5 outs to play with here tonight, down 2 runs. Next pitch from Hope, it's over for a strike, 2-2. Another night with some bright spots for the Aces. Jared Dale, a multi-hit game. Kevin Lennox, really good in relief. Mincy, although he gave up 3 homers, went 6 innings as Glendinning flies out for out number 2. But Josh, just not much going offensively, and that's been the story over the last week.
Now the 4 errors have kept Melbourne in this ball game. But again, you just feel like they're due. There's too much offensive talent on this Aces team to be out of it for this long. Just something's got to give. Something's just going to click for this Aces team. And in my opinion, just looking at the talent on this roster, it's a matter of when and not if.
So here's Jake Skoll. Walked, stole a bag, got the 3rd on an error, and scored the first run of the night for the Aces back in inning number 2. Skoll still getting settled here in Melbourne. He's been in Australia less than a week, but he's already making his presence known in the middle of the lineup. He swings through a breaking ball there. It's 1-1. A lot of talent on both sides in this series. As Skoll rips one into right field, it's down in front of Yang. Another hit for Jake Skoll. And Josh, you mentioned it not a matter of if, but when the Aces are going to break out. Well, we'll see what happens, but after getting swept, it's tough to come right back and then play the team with the best record in the league.
No, this is a team with championship DNA, a lot of talent, and I think Skoll could be a key into the Aces' resurgence. He's got a hit in both of the games, and he just hits the ball hard. I mean, looking during batting practice, he was just pulverizing baseballs, and that single had to be upper 90s miles an hour off the bat. I mean, that was just crushed on a line into right.
Here's J.D. Osborne. He's the tying run at the plate. Well, Skoll has now reached base safely 5 times in 2 games. He scored 3 runs as well. Aces left the tying run at second base in the bottom of the 7th. The Bandits got one back in the top of the 8th. Now Aces playing 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th.
And again, I mean, 3 runs on 5 hits might not look like the most attention-grabbing stat line, but at the end of the day, the Aces are still in this game.
Osborne, big rip. He comes up empty. It's 1-2.
The tying run is at the plate in the 8th inning. And if you've been on a losing streak, if you're down, that's all you can hope for. And now it's just the Aces' time to put something across. They've got to get these big hits at these big spots if they want to repeat for the 3rd straight time, if they want to get those big wins.
Well, it's not going to happen in the 8th as Osborne goes down swinging. Aces with 3 outs left to play with, but first they'll have to get through the top of the 9th. 5-3 Brisbane after 8 full. Josh Sperber taking back over on the play-by-play after this break on the Aces TV network.
For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150 varieties of vibrant plants, most of them grown locally right here in Werribee South. We have qualified horticulturalists on site to help assist with all your gardening needs, and our home decor section is stocked with a full range of quality options. All Green Nursery, your local plant nursery and garden centre. Visit our sites in Hoppers Crossing and Epping. All-Star Access Hire are your access equipment specialists. We have an extensive range of state-of-the-art equipment and we pride ourselves on delivering outstanding customer service. We have the youngest fleet of equipment in Victoria and we are consistently adding new machines. We get to know our customers and form partnerships with them. This video is of our partnership with the Victorian Government at Reservoir Station. All-Star Access Hire are proud sponsors of the Melbourne Aces and our All-Star Bar.
Love the energy of this crowd on hand tonight. Looking to will the Aces onward as they're 2 runs down against Brisbane, facing 7, 8, and 9 in the Bandits roster. 5-3 the score, top of the 9th inning. And we have a new pitcher on the bump for the Melbourne Aces. It's Jeremy Young, who has been one of, if not the best, Aces reliever on the hill this season. His 5th appearance of the year, only pitched at home as he sent a pitch outside to Donald Lutz for ball 1. Young on the season, 1-0 the record. It's in his 5th game, as I mentioned. 2-0 now the count to Lutz. 1.13 ERA in 8 innings of work, 5 hits, 3 runs, just one of them earned, 2 walks and 7 strikeouts. The 2-0. Swing and a miss. 2-1 to Lutz, who hit a big home run in the 3rd inning to give the Bandits for the lead. They have since held on to that lead. Young was huge for Melbourne in the opening series, particularly in that 13-inning win against Geelong, where he got the victory, part of an effort that included a 5-2-3 double play. 3 innings of work, allowed 1 earned run, and just came up in some big spots, and down 2. Not the highest of leverage he's seen, but still definitely a big spot for the right-hander. 2-2, bouncing on the inside, and the count runs full.
Yeah, Young's been so good. Was a little surprised to see him not get used at all during the 4 games in Adelaide. And a guy you can trust to keep a game close when you're down, like you mentioned, but also a guy you trust with the ball when you're up. So surprising to see that he hasn't pitched since that Perth series.
Payoff pitch, and it's ball 4 to Lutz. It was a leadoff walk here in the top of the 9th to bring up Logan Trowbridge.
And when you haven't pitched in that long, you know, you see things like that, a leadoff walk. You know, a guy hasn't thrown live in a game in a while, and bullpen sessions and side work can, you know, only do so much. You know, you can't replicate those live reps in the game.
Not much to worry about speed-wise on first base. Logan Trowbridge 0 for 3 tonight. Strikeouts in each of his last 2 appearances as he takes the first pitch for ball 1. Logan, much better last night. A couple of big hits, including an RBI single in the 6th that tied up the game. He went 2 for 4 with an intentional walk in the 11th. Now ahead of the count, 2-0 on Young. 5-3 the score. Aces, 5 hits, 8 for Brisbane. 2-0. Looping ball into right field, and that is going to drop just foul. Inches away from being a dangerous bloop hit. But it's just out, strike number 1, as we'll take a look to see just how close this one was down the right field line.
Yeah, I thought for a second, just the way things were going for the Aces, that ball was going to land fair, but luckily for everybody in the white jerseys, that landed to the right of the chalk.
That was centimeters away from being some trouble in the early goings of this 9th inning, but instead it's a 2-1 count to Trowbridge. Young kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. Responds well, sending the breaking ball over, even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Young, a 4-pitch pitcher, 2-seamer, slider, curve, and a change. You saw the change dare Trowbridge. There's the fastball, sends it to short, flips to second for 1, takes Khalil off the bag. The tag still made at second base, but no double play, just ends up in a 6-4 fielder's choice. So Logan Trowbridge replaces Donald Lutz on first, and we have 1 out here in the 9th.
It was a nice play just to get it out and at least get the lead runner.
And that's certainly not an easy play. Glendinning had to make a sharp adjustment to bring his momentum back towards second base. Did well enough just to get the out. And again, the lead runner does not advance. But Trowbridge, quicker than Lutz on first, is Darian Miller. Popped this one foul past the All-Star bar down the right field line. Miller, another Brewers prospect. 1 for 3 with a double back in the 3rd. The 0-1. Off goes the runner. Pitch misses for a ball. The throw's on the money, and he gets him out. Matt O'Neill catches another runner stealing. No question about it. 2 outs in the 9th, and that is a big defensive play from the Aces backstop.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier in the broadcast. He controls the running game so well, and It's about time that opponents stop running on Matt O'Neill. I mean, this is a perfect throw, and the reason I say it's perfect, even though he skipped it in the dirt, he meant to do that. He wanted to give a good hop for Khalil.
And that one is deep into right field. Oh, a reaching back catch. Jacob Skoll flashing the leather. And two highlight defensive plays to end the inning. Take a look at this. That looked like it was destined for extra bases. Stoll just reaches it up and plucks it out of the air. Some highlight reel defense to send us into the bottom of the ninth. Aces, 2 runs down, last licks coming up here on Aces TV.
We've been there for every game of 4 and 25. When Meatloaf overcooked it and Gregan saved that try. When Brownie takes one for the team and Bradbury skated by. This golden crusty pastry watched as Taylor kicked the sky. When Ben Simmons makes a 3, we give a big high five. What future sport looks like just won't be run without a pie. Oh, what a lovely pie, me mates are 4 and 25. Oi!
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
It all comes down to this for the Aces. 6, 7, and 8 coming up in the batting order. And they're going against the current ABL saves leader in James Meeker. The Bandits lead 5-3. A punt 1-2-3 pitching change brings on Meeker, who earned the save in a 1-2-3 11th inning last night. That'll have a tough part of the order to do it for the Aces. So the book closes on Carter Hope. 2 strikeouts in 1 inning of work. And Robson fouls off Meeker's bid for his 5th save of the year. First pitch in the 9th, 0-1 to Jacob Robson. Robson is 0 for 2 today, walked in the 2nd. The 0-1 from Meeker, fouled away, and it's 0-2. And Robson's a guy who is just due. It's something we've talked about all game long. He's been just zeroing in on his pitch day by day, and particularly in this game. He's had a couple of nice battles at the plate.
It's fun to watch Robson hit because you see him constantly making adjustments and taking in what he sees up there in the box.
The 0-2 from Meeker. Misses low with a fastball, count 1-2. Meeker is a guy who you're going to see a lot of that heater. And it's pretty common with relievers late in the game. They try and really blow the hard stuff past these batters. Robson, a guy who can turn a fastball into runs, though. That one is slapped into left field, and Robson leads things off with a single. Not the power we're accustomed to, but a great start in the 9th, and the tying run now comes up at the plate in the form of Matt O'Neill.
All right, who wants to hit a walk-off 3-run homer? Let's snap this losing skid. But Robson is so good at spraying the ball to the left side of the diamond. He does a great job of just going with the pitch. He doesn't try to pull that to the right side. He doesn't try to take that to the gap or hit that out of the ballpark. He says, well, let me take my single, and that's got to feel good as he's had some tough ABs over the last 2 days.
And you got to like that approach at the plate. All he wanted was to get on base. All the Aces needed is a guy on base. They have it. 6 hit of the night, and O'Neill has come up in big spots for Melbourne. He's the tying run. 0-1 count to him.
Got to have the leadoff man on. You have to, especially down 2 runs, because you get that leadoff man on, you bring the tying run to the plate with no outs.
Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball, inside corner, count 0-2. You got Robson dancing around in that first base bag now, and we've seen good base running from the Aces really get in the heads of these Bandits players. It's one of the reasons this game is so close.
It's one thing the Aces continue to do effectively is run the bases.
That one's hit up the middle, right back to the pitcher. Taylor made double play, 1-4-3, and just like that, there are 2 outs in the 9th. You hate to see that.
Yeah, that's deflating right there. And to be honest, that was almost the 5th error of the game for the Bandits, as Meeker spiked that one into the dirt. Take a look at the All-Star Access Higher replay. A good job by the shortstop, Wade, who was coming. He had to go across his body to make that grab because he's going to his left. The throw went to his right, and that really takes the wind out of the sails for the Aces.
After a good piece of hitting by Robson, a ball up the middle, it's what you want. I mean, O'Neill did a good job at the plate, but just right back at the pitcher. And now 2 away for George Khalil, who takes ball 1 upstairs. Ace is still not out of it, though. Khalil has come up big in late game situations. A home run in the late goings of that first game against Adelaide. 1-0, fouled off the catcher, and it's 1-1. Plenty of experience. 2 guys with a combined 14 years of experience in the at-bat, in the batter's box and in the on-deck circle. Khalil in his 5th year with Melbourne. Cruz in his 9th, waiting on deck, hoping to get a chance to hit. 1-1, misses outside, and it's 2-1. Khalil reached on a single. An error helped, but still goes down in the books as an infield single. And that one just missed outside. So he's 1 for 3 as Khalil, looking for another hit here. That one's popped in the air out to right field. Yang eases under it, in foul territory, makes the grab, and ends the ball game. So the Aces once again have some close calls, but come up short. 6th straight loss for Melbourne, 9th straight win for the Brisbane Bandits. And Mike, that was a tough one to swallow.
It really was, especially because the Aces scored first for the 2nd straight night, and everything we talked about in the pregame show about scoring early and often. Well, they scored early, but not often. They weren't able to extend that lead and put the pressure on another young starter for Brisbane. And that's tough because we know how much talent this Melbourne roster has, especially the lineup. I mean, the damage they did against GK and Perth over the first 2 series of the year. We're just not seeing it right now, and that's a big reason why Brisbane was able to come back and win this one.
Well, the starters gets the decision. Cam Wagner, his first decision of the year, 1-0 the record for him. A solid 5 2/3 innings with 2 walks and 5 strikeouts. Cody Mincy gets his first loss with a solid performance, though. 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 strikeouts and a walk, but 3 of those 7 hits were home runs.
Yeah, the long ball continues to bite Cody a little bit. The last time he gave up 3 home runs in a game, they were all solo shots, and it was a game in which the Aces gave him 10 runs of support, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But tonight, when he wasn't getting much run support, and also the fact that, you know, once Brisbane scored, you're like, uh-oh, just the way that the Aces bats have been trending recently. Like I said earlier in the broadcast, 4-1 deficit felt like 8-1, and it was just a tough night overall. And yeah, of course, the long ball bit Cody tonight.
Each team pretty efficient in the field. Total of 9 runs left on base, 5 for the Aces, 4 for the Bandits. A 5-3 victory, 8 hits, 4 errors for Brisbane. 8 hits for Melbourne as well, but just 3 runs. Clean sheet in terms of errors, though. So the defense is there. They get the hits, actually 6 hits and not 8. But still, they're getting guys on base. But as we talked about in the pregame, Mike, it's just a matter of timely hitting for Melbourne.
Yeah, they had their chances again. I mean, it was a different story, whereas last night they had runners on all night. Tonight it took until the later innings for them to really not even break out, but for something to happen for them. Now, they took advantage of the errors when the errors were made. Taking a look at some of these replays tonight, That ball Matt O'Neill hit early in the game, that was a hard hit ball, brought home a run, but they just weren't able to do enough when they had the chances. I talk about rallies all the time. Now, it's okay, it's good to hit a homer here and there, and it's good to get a couple guys on base, but you want to consistently be moving through the lineup. You want to go single, double, single, walk, single, double, whatever, but the Aces haven't been able to string those base runners together.
And once again, hits with runners in scoring position came difficult. There you see the Aces getting close in this game. They were within one run. George Khalil kind of started a rally. An attempted double play ended up going into center field. And then the next batter, Jared Cruz, slow roller to third. It stayed fair, forcing Bennett to make a high throw, and that allowed a second run to score. So the Aces got pretty close, but it seemed like T.J. Bennett responding to those two errors with a home run in the eighth really knocked the wind out of the Aces.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough. They needed a shutdown inning right there. They didn't get it. And, yeah, there were a couple times this game where it kind of knocked the wind out of you, kind of a gut punch, and that was the final gut punch was the double play ball in the bottom of the ninth. But there were a couple times where it looked like the Aces were getting back in it. They were trying to seize the momentum. And then Brisbane came right back, and that's what good teams do. There's a reason they're 12-2.
Brisbane 9 straight wins. Melbourne 6 straight losses. Tomorrow we'll be back at 7 p.m. as the Aces try to end the longest winning and losing streak of the season. I want to thank you all for watching. Hope you guys stick with us tomorrow. Pregame at about 6:50 here on Aces TV. Big thanks to our great team behind us at Sportscast Australia. For my broadcast partner, Mike Marcantonini, I'm Josh Sperber. Thank you all for watching. Enjoy the start of your weekend, and we'll see you Saturday right here at 6:50 on Aces TV. Have a good night, everybody.